Wait, okay, there it is. There it is. Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry about the start right there. I was trying to get my OBS set up in preparations of maybe doing some dual streaming to Twitch, and I think something broke. I think something broke during the process, and I'm not exactly quite sure what it was. So maybe scrap the idea for now. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It just might be like a weird OBS thing when I did the update, and it's like, it did not want to work. It just didn't want to work. It just didn't want to work. But yeah, hey everyone, welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Hey Hunter. Hey G&G. Hey Tactician Chance. Welcome, welcome. We are. This has been like a very, very packed couple of weeks, especially with all the streams in between. Holy crap. It feels like this 2 weeks was like a lifetime already. I don't know why. I mean, it's not terrible. It's honestly not bad. It's just, it feels weird. To me, it feels weird. I don't know if there's a better way to say that. But yeah, here we are in Girls Frontline 2, trying to finish this event, and another event is coming up next week, I think. The next event is also gonna have Captain China's, aka Kinwa. I don't know how to say her name. Hold up. Let's push her up on the screen so that we can at least see what we're looking at. Hair somewhere here. There. Qiwa? Kinwa? I don't know. She's still Captain China to me as far as I'm concerned. But she doesn't look like anything like the Captain China I remember. She seems a little bit different. Just a teeny tiny bit different. But let me see. I need to make a comparison. I need a comparison because I like to do the comparison stuff. Peri still refused to return home. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully she makes changes her mind eventually. she's a little bit. I don't know. She seems like I mean, she seems pretty good on paper, but then again, apparently Sharkry is just better. I don't know. Sharkry just seems better overall, and that's kind of funny to me. Um, like Sharkry seems better than Peri. Sharkry seems better than Captain China somehow. Type 97, is it Type 97S I'm looking for? Yeah, Type 97S, I think. Okay, yeah. I guess let's put the background music on for now while we do this. Not the same background music I was thinking of, but oh well. Uh, but let me see. Okay, for comparison, we need to do comparisons here. Just collector, I'm V0 for most styles anyway. Fair, fair, fair. I just wanted something better for my fire team, and maybe I'm a little bit scarred from trying to trying to V6 Klukai a few weeks ago, and that's totally on me. That's totally on me. Maybe my thinking's a little bit changed because of that. But anyway, here we go. Captain China, aka Kinwa. I don't know. How do you say this name? I say Kinwa. Probably not exact. It's probably not actually Kinwa. But that is what I'm gonna call her for now, because I have nothing else I can call her. Wait, why is the other screen not showing up? Is it this one? Nope, that's you guys. That's you guys. I wish I had a preview. Is it this one? Kinda, sort of, not really. Okay, you know what? It's fine if you see my bookmarks, it's alright. Because that's not the important thing here. The important thing here is we scroll down. We scroll down over here. I'm pretty sure we've done this comparison before, but it bears doing again. Because why freaking not? Alright. Chiwa. Man, I cannot pronounce Chinese whatsoever. Especially when they like romanize Chinese. It's like impossible. Impossible. How does that even make sense? Good morning on my country time. Have breakfast. Okay. Hey Vector, welcome. What are you getting? Tapsilog? Or Logsilog? I don't know. You said you're from the Philippines, so I had to guess. Let's see. Captain China, at least version 1 looks like this. But we don't go by the original art because that's always changed. I guess what we do here is version 2 or the mod 3. I guess the mod 3 and the current one kind of look pretty similar. But it's a little hard to distinguish her without the shield. At least for me. It's terrible. It's terrible. For me, the shield with the bright red star is kind of like the defining fact, like the thing that makes me recognize her. Otherwise, I really cannot recognize her. Technically speaking. Yet also somehow she has a bow gauge. Maybe not that one. Somehow she has like some of the most risque skins also. Like what the heck? What the heck? This one also makes its way to Girls Frontline too, by the way. Like 1-to-1. This makes it to Girls Frontline too. How the heck do you have the most risque skins? I have no idea. But I guess she kind of sort of looks like her mod 3. It's just for me a little difficult to see specifically. I don't know. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with for Captain China here. I'll just call her Captain China unless they figure out a different way to call her. Because saying the Chinese names, I struggle with the Chinese names. it's just bad. But she is supposed to come up next week. And me personally, I was gonna roll it initially until someone said Sharkry is still better. Really? How is Sharkry still better than her? I guess at V6 anyone's still better than Sharkry. But a V6 Sharkry is someone you probably have already. And if you have her extra key, she's still better than anyone else that you could possibly get for your fire team at V0. I don't know. Sharkry just wanted to be an idol, but now she's a helicopter pilot and one of the best DPS for fire somehow. Still, like 2 years later, I don't understand it. I really don't. But I think Sharkry having no limits to her follow-up attack may have something to do with it. And now that her key gets now that her key like changes her follow-up attack to being fire, then that does something else also. Sharkry plus V6 and her mod key makes her a mini QJ, so it's hard to beat. Oh, is that what it was? The mini QJ thing, I see. Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point, I could call my fire team done unless I wanted to get anyone else for collection purposes. Personally speaking, I'm not a huge Captain China fan to begin with. Like if I had a choice, I'd roll for Peri. And I think I could roll for Peri right now if I wanted to. Peri V0. And she would just be in the dorm doing nothing because I would not bring her to my fire team. I kind of feel sad to do that. So at this point, I think I should just save up for like the eventual lightning team that we are going to get. Because holy crap, we are going to be getting a lot of lightning units eventually, because right now we only have Mozen, and I feel like Mozen's not really even part of the lightning team if I'm being perfectly honest. She doesn't do a whole lot, and when she does something, the enemy has to be broken first before she does anything useful. That is my impression of her. Meanwhile, future lightning teams work off each other, and probably better at the end of the day, to be honest. So I'm saving up for that. I'm saving up for everyone else after that right now. I feel like I'm gonna need to at least V1 them later. So yeah, no Kiwa for me, no Peri for me, at least for the moment. Part of me is like, okay, as much as I hate on the Hoyo banner, and I do hate on Hoyo style banners where all characters are limited and only for that banner, I guess it's kind of okay to save up the, what do you call this, the soft pity? No, is it soft pity? The hard pity. Is it hard pity? It's kind of nice to save up for the hard pity. But at the same time, if you wanted to collect everyone, you'd have to wait for the banner. And I'm kind of like, geez, how long am I gonna have to wait for that? Meanwhile, old school gacha games, let's just say, have, once they release everyone's in the same banner. Rate up might be a lie, but at least eventually you can get everyone anytime. I don't know. There's a good and bad to it, but I don't like waiting for the banner to come around. I think that's what Uma Musume made me realize these past couple of days when I was rolling for Kita-san Black, and well, if you want to know what happened there and haven't seen it, well, let's just say I didn't really go too hard on it, but yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm just kind of, for me right now, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do here in Girls Frontline 2. Because holy crap, there's just so much stuff that happens at one time. Like when you have like a regular event, not a whole lot of stuff happens, right? The mini chores that you have to do here and there aren't overwhelming. But then when a major event like this drops, you have the mini game that's attached to the event itself, which is the cat cafe. Eventually the cat cafe maxes out and you don't have to touch this again. But alongside that, you have challenge mode 1, you have challenge mode 2, you have the Nikkei mini game, and then you also have everyone's favorite board game, Pathforger. Personally, if Pathforger was the only thing happening at the time, I would not mind it. But Pathforger with Nikkei and the challenge mode, and even trying to juggle this artifact recovery thing, I have not touched artifact recovery past the first time I beat it, because holy crap, I didn't realize that there were other things that I had to do for artifact recovery, which technically speaking you don't have to do because there are no cubes like associated with this. But if you wanted the extra combat reports, which you probably don't need anymore, you can just farm that regularly. If you wanted the extra tickets and combat reports, I guess so. I guess technically I don't have to do that, but doing artifact recovery itself, okay? Doing artifact recovery itself, there are missions that do give you cubes. And I don't know, it seems a little grindy. Thankfully, this is around for 6 months, but at the same time, I just kind of want it over with. I don't know if I'm alone in thinking that. But yeah, it's like, it's a little overwhelming the amount of stuff that's happening right now concurrently. Like, you would think more stuff would get you, I guess, involved with the game. But to me, it feels like I'm bogged down. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. Maybe that's a me problem. Maybe that's a me problem because I have way too many gacha games at the same time. I think that might be a me problem. I think I need to cut like 1 or 2 gacha in general so that I can at least mentally free myself up. I think that's what it is. But right now I'm having too much fun with Uma Musume. I am, I guess, coasting in Blue Archive. There's really not a whole lot to do there, so that's gonna stay because of that. Limbus Company is a grind like every week for me because I do not have hard mode yet. But I guess if everything was like baseline stuff that you have to do every day or even every week, I think Uma Musume might actually be the biggest time sink. But the problem with Uma Musume is I actually like that time sink. I think that's weird for some people to hear. But I do like the grind in Uma Musume because I'm still like experimenting with stuff. I'm also still like trying to, what do you call this? Trying to get work towards something. And even though it's a bit of a grind, it doesn't feel like it's a bad grind. Meanwhile, all the other ones that are supposedly quick and easy, it's just, it adds up. The small little chores add up. And I think I'm a little bit trying to figure out, conflicted? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what is exactly, where exactly my time should go. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. It's tough. It's tough. Like I said, it's probably a mental thing. Probably a mental thing. Lena Banner probably comes after Levas or even UMP40 since it's part of the major story after Levas' Deep Oblivion major story. Yeah, so they're gonna come like right after another, which hopefully isn't gonna be anytime soon. But when they do eventually come in, it's not just the UMP sisters that you would have to get, or probably might want to get. There's also Ro. You're forgetting Ro is also part of that banner. So there's like at least 4 there. That's gonna drain your resources in one way or another. Just do a run every 2 days or so for artifact recovery. I guess so. That's probably what I should do. At least after this event, it's gonna be a little bit easier to breathe. But still, it's there's just a lot. There was just a lot going on at one time. I just need to like prioritize and figure out what the heck I'm doing. And maybe, and I don't know. I just need to figure some stuff out. But yeah, we're gonna try to finish the rest of the event today. Not try. We have to. This is part 3 of a big event. We did part 1 all in one go. Part 2, I had to chop it up in 2 parts because what is this? We went 8 battle nodes, 8 battle story nodes, which actually kind of went pretty fast. But then we still have another 3 battle nodes, which doesn't seem like a whole lot. But there, for some reason, is 1, 2, 3, 4 more story nodes. Granted, some of the story nodes before this were on the shorter side, because what is happening here is that there's basically 2 parts of this event. There's a real world, and there is Peri's troubles. Peri getting stuck in her neural cloud and cannot wake up because the Viagers somehow put some kind of virus, I think it's a virus, or something, some program that is basically gonna delete her neural cloud so that they can actually sell her to somewhere. I'm surprised they didn't just like outright scrap her. But I think that's why they installed like the virus in there or something. And now the virus, the override program, is hunting her down, trying to close out every little path so that it can basically delete her. And she doesn't have a backup. So it's like, crap, okay. So for her, that's basically a fate worse than death, essentially. Because she still has a thing that she wants to do, which is like find Thompson. And if she can't do that, well, if she can't like get out of the situation, she's gone. Bye-bye. No more. She would just be basically like KSVK. But at least KSVK, it doesn't seem like she even knew she got overridden, deleted multiple times. But then that's just KSVK. That's kind of part of her lore. And we don't get to see that internal struggle, if there was any at all. But because Peri has something to lose, we do see that internal struggle. It's kind of, on one hand it feels horrifying. If you put that in a human's shoes. On the other hand, data minds, data brains, how do they work? What is death? That kind of thing. I don't know. My mind is not quite in the analyzing mode right now, but it does make me think a little bit sometimes. Anyway, so story is first part 1 of the event. What was that? The commission to test out some security robots, and then we did a basically. It's basically a paintball elimination tournament. That's basically what it was. And I think that actually happened. What probably was weird was the final part of that, where Peri was like going around the rooms and shooting people up. Probably because that was not actually the real world at that point. That was probably actually in her mind. And then when we start this part 2 of the event, we are somewhere else. I think supposedly, well, we're somewhere else in the real world. Some, what is it? Black market broker convention, if you want to call it that. But basically, there's this broker that used to work for, what was her name again? Polonishta? The broker that used to work for Polonishta, or work with Polonishta, is basically hosting this event. And apparently that guy is working with Viegers to basically kill, abduct, and I don't know, ruin the competition. I think that's what's going on. I'm not entirely sure because it doesn't make sense for me to like do this this race thing and then kill off the people that participate in the race. I would have thought they would have like brought them in and like, I don't know, sell them off to like other people, human trafficking, that sort of thing. Jakob, yes, that guy. And alongside that, I guess Peri got caught up in something. She went to a door that she wasn't supposed to. She got caught, and now they're trying to delete her. And who knows what happens after that. But now, I think we're just trying to get her out of this mess. We found out that the Jakob guy is in cahoots with the Viegers, and we can't exactly come up to him immediately with anything. But Springfield is trying to corner him politically, I suppose. And I think that's basically where we stopped. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm trying to figure out, okay, that's interesting and all. This whole string of events is interesting and all. But how the heck does this connect to what we've done so far? Especially up to Chapter 8 and all the mini-events from Chapter 8. All the mini-events after Chapter 8 were actually really, really nice. They were pretty good. Because they all kind of connect to each other. Like rescuing 404 and trying to get them out of that situation. But after 404 was rescued, everything felt a little bit weird. It's like we're going through a bunch of little side stories. Even this one feels like one gigantic side story. Maybe by the end of this, we'll figure out how it connects to each other, but it's a build up to that. So, to get there, we should go and get started. And I'm kind of curious who is pulling the strings here, other than Viegers and such, because the Viegers are not acting normal. They got someone controlling them, and that's very weird. Everything in part 1 since the final scene actually happened. Yep, that's basically what I thought. Dorito buffs are coming next patch. Nice. Okay. From what I can tell in part 1 and up until Peri fight, Evil Field is all memory loops, and after that, commander sections are real old. Yeah, Evil Field was all. Evil Field is the program that's trying to override Peri. That's the one. Yes. Someday there will be a job or contest that's just straightforward and honest. Someday. Usually there is. It's just that this is the Girls Frontline, and weird things happen in Girls Frontline on multiple levels. And it's not really apparent how they connect until a little bit later. I will say though this before we get started. Have you seen this one thing that Yuzong posted? Not posted. He said something weird. I don't think anyone can figure out what the heck he's trying to say. Hold up. Yeah. Someone posted in Discord, and I think I saw it was either Ferrari or someone else retweeted. Yes, the McDonald's thing. Let's put it on screen so that we all know what it is. I don't know what the source is, but if you find the Ferrari is, I think it's Ferrari. It's usually him. He might have retweeted it, and it's like, what the heck does that mean? I know I also commented on this. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, what is this about? Okay. If someone can decipher this, let me know. But this is what he said. Making military-themed games is like running McDonald's. The recipe for hamburgers can be localized, but no one needs to teach the world what French fries are. I don't understand. I don't understand. That's a metaphor for something, but I'm not sure what the metaphor is. It's probably because of rewrite hell Girls Frontline 2 gets right now. At the very least, they continue with the major story delivering Helena to Liev. Guess I already know a big part of it. I guess it might be about the rewrites. Recipe for hamburgers can be localized. Okay, I mean, technically speaking, yes. There are places, let's say, oh, here's a good one. Guys, what are hamburgers made out of? Tell me if you know. General hamburgers, what are they made out of? Because I didn't realize this until I thought about it, and this is something I heard a long time ago. Not Burger King, McDonald's, because let's just use McDonald's as an example, because they're the biggest chain. McDonald's is basically everywhere around the world, right? And they're also in India. Now, if you said ground beef, which you did, G&G, you are correct. Hamburger patties are generally made out of ground beef. Now, you could make them out of ground pork, but some people wouldn't call that a hamburger. But still, it is a burger of sorts. But ground beef being the usual ingredient for burger patties, and if you are in India, they don't eat beef over there. That is a thing that most people over there don't eat for religious reasons. So yes, hamburgers can be localized, and on one hand, you can change the meat from beef to something else. I don't exactly know what they use. It could maybe chicken. I think, but I think most Indians are also vegetarian, so maybe they don't also eat meat. So what else is there? Anyway, you can change the ingredient for the patty depending on the location, and even then, even if you don't change the ingredient for the patty, there's also like McDonald's Japan that likes to change up the type of burger, like egg and burger, very common in McDonald's Japan. And they do also other different varieties of McDonald's hamburger. So, okay, localize, but no one needs to teach the world what French fries are. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I honestly don't know what it means. Yuzong, you're gonna have to explain that because everyone's confused. I can kind of get the first part, but I still don't understand what you mean. Like, do you need to? I don't know. I think I'm making a a huge deal out of this, just trying to figure out what he's saying. But it's also like, I don't think anyone's figured it out yet. So anyway, sorry for the tangent. Sorry for the tangent. Let's just get going. I don't know how much more we got here, but I don't think it's gonna be too long considering how much we have left. But also the four story chapters kind of scares me. Chopped up potatoes, yeah, decent amount of time, ish. Around noon, I decide to pass the time with the Zucchero dolls at the fair while waiting for a reply. At last, my terminal suddenly vibrates repeatedly. Who are we looking for again? I forgot. The guy who you're looking for. Unless we haven't mentioned it yet, then please remind me. I opened the attachments and verified the information sent back together with Springfield. Hamburgers are the plot specifics and conflict are and fries are referred to the method of violence. You know what? That's not a good. That's not good. Not good. I mean, that's not a bad train of thought. That's not a bad train of thought. Where are we? Springfield smiles and turns around while clapping her hands. Oh, another tea party? Not in Boston this time. I don't think Boston even exists anymore, so. The trio who has been impatiently waiting for the nearby booths quickly gathers around. What constitutes as a light roast in this case? Okay, we're talking too much about food. First hamburgers and fries. Now we're talking about tea. But what constitutes as a light roast? We're not gonna like shoot them up or anything. This ain't Kivotos. So I don't know. A light tap? Breaking some people's legs? They probably don't do that. Would you like to be a bad guy? You know what? Once in a while, I do want to be a villain. You metaphorically slaughter their family? No. I feel like that would be a dark roast. Not a light roast. I mean, we do war crimes, but nothing that heinous. Since everyone's ready, I'll contact our supplier now. Okay, kinda curious. Under the watch of the Zucchero dolls and I, Springfield dials a familiar number. Who is that? I don't recognize that voice. Who is that? Draken? Have we seen this Draken person? I don't think I remember a Draken. Oh wow, that was actually a lot shorter than I thought it would be. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna go to the next map. We have? When did we see her? Damn, my memory is going if I don't remember these things. As the taste of black tea settles on my tongue, I see Jakob rush in with his secretary. Since we're the only customers in the cafe, Jakob quickly directs his attention towards us. But a look of caution and confusion naturally crawls onto his face as he notices the presence of Polonishta. Polonishta stands up calmly and leaves in a carefree manner. As she walks past Jakob, I see her stop for a moment, and then Jakob's expression becomes even more gloomy. Right, because he was trying to like steal a deal with some client before we left off yesterday, and she, I think presumably she one-ups him with the bidding. And it's like, darn you, what the heck? Jakob curses softly and moves to find another table to sit at.
Jakob-san, ご一緒しませんか? あいにくですが、先客がいましてね。テーブルを隔てて商談をするつもりですか? なかなか独特な習慣をお持ちのようで。どういう意味ですか?
We're the client this time?
なるほど。私の情報を教えていないんですね。ドラヘン? あなたがドラフェンさんのクライアント? そんなバカな一回の賞金ハンターがこんな。確かに賞金ハンターには過ぎたビジネスです。しかし依頼人とは何の関係もありません。
I mean, also we have several sugar mommies apparently, so it's not like we can't afford it. Maybe.
なんなら ドラヘンさんに確認してもよろしいんですよ。
I show him the comms interface with Draken on my terminal screen.
いえ、信じましょう。
Oh wow, he did a 180 in his attitude right there. Jakob quickly adjusts his expression, takes a seat at the opposite end of the table from me and Springfield.
私との商談をご所望でしたら、最初からそうおっしゃっていただければ。
Instead of responding to Jakob right away, Springfield smiles and calls Santaresi over.
今日は長丁場になりそうですね。センターレイシーさん、お飲み物を。
Don't forget to drug him. Use a truth serum or something. Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting this to be a little bit like The Godfather. I don't know. I've never seen the movie. But the commander over here is doing his best Gendo pose minus the leaning. And Springfield, friendly as she looks, is about to kill someone. At Springfield's behest, Santaresi neatly clears away the tea set used to host Polynishta. Then she brings warm coffee for all three of us.
どうぞ。
この出張市場イベントの主催者というご身分もありますので、私が間に立つ形にさせていただきました。ホワイトエリアのお客さんの用心深さは、ヤクブさんもご存知でしょう？もちろんです。先ほどは失礼いたしました。こちらの条件はすでにお知らせした通りです。ご不満があればいくらでも相談に応じましょう。
Well, let me see. Maybe release our friend?
ドラヘンさんからすでにお聞きしていると思いますが、ポルドニッツァの方からさらにいい条件を提示され、暫定的合意に至りました。
Polonissa giving us better quotes? I guess she does do that sometimes.
お言葉ですが、ポルドニッツァは代理人といえど、噂ほどの実力者かは甚だ疑問です。ご存知かと思いますが、彼女のチームは今日レースに出場しましてね。ただ、羅針盤による位置情報はすでにロストしました。
Oh wow, you don't seem too concerned about her team disappearing. I wonder why.
バリアーグにすら手こずるような闇ブローカーなど信頼できますか？取引が成立しても商品を無事届けられる保証はありません。その時損を被るのはあなたです。
Right, so I guess the reason why he's like killing off the other brokers that are in the competition is to basically tank their credibility. I think that's what he's trying to do. So I guess the human trafficking angle wouldn't work if he didn't do that. I see.
彼女のチームが本当にやられたと？
Are you sure they didn't just turn it off?
当然、羅針盤システムに間違いなどはありません。位置情報はあなたも確認されたでしょう？なるほど。依頼人にこの旨をお伝えします。今日お会いしたのは実は別件のためで。ほう、それはどういったもので
？Rather than rushing to respond, I leisurely take a sip of my coffee and made from lightly roasted beans, relishing in the refreshing flavor. Jakob, meanwhile, waits patiently and eagerly. It seems that he has fully accepted our identity.
スプリングフィールド。
はい。すみません。指揮官はお疲れなので恐縮ですが、ここからは私が代わりに。
Jakob's smile freezes. Why?
わかりました。それでどういった内容で？
簡単です。情報を交わせてください。初めてお会いした時、私と一緒にいたペリーという人形をご存知ですか？彼女の行方が知りたいんです。
その件なら秘書がお伝えした通り、心当たりはありません。
Nah, you do know something. You just can't say it.
話はこれからです。闇市に存在しない商品はなく、あるのは払えない値段だけ。まずはこちらの支払う報酬を提示させてください。
いいでしょう。
Springfield gently blinks. I feel the translations of, at least for the text, is a lot more verbose than what the Japanese audio is saying. But also, I do not know what the original Chinese text says. So this might be actually accurate. But also, it's like extremely verbose.
沈黙
Our silence. That's the price.
何？
あなたがバリャーグと結託している事実を墓場まで持っていきます
Right, because he's working with Viagers. Jakob sets down the coffee, the ball in the cup making a dull thud on the table.
聞き捨てなりませんね。私がバリャーグなどと？そんな力、私にはありませんよ。
そうでしょうかあなたの影響力は通常の闇ブローカーの範疇を逸脱しています
Springfield turns on the terminal and shows Jakob a report.
ブリーフは常に様々な地域のバリャーグの活動を観察記録していますここも例外ではありません記録によればこの地域のバリャーグの被害は甚大で賞金ハンターが次々派遣されたものの一向に改善が認められません
Let me double check that. Record points to a sustained pattern of intense Viagra presence in the region. Your competitors have suffered repeated setbacks. Even the brief bounty hunter raids have had little effect on the situation. Okay.
しかしある時期を境にあなたのキャラバンだけ無傷で生き残りライバルはことごとく活動を停止しましたそしてあなたがこの一帯最大の闇ブローカーとなりました
Alright, so we got proof that... isn't it kind of suspicious that everyone else is getting wiped out except your people? You can't claim that it's because they were good enough to like go against that group of Viagers. Maybe, maybe not, but still.
活動範囲は拡大する一方まるでバリアーグよけの魔法でもあるかのように
魔法？すべて実力ですよ。この辺は鉱物資源が豊富です。採掘に来る者は後を絶ちません。バリャーグもバカじゃない。弱い方を狙うのは当然でしょう。
ええ。そして採掘に訪れた者たちは一番土地勘のあるあなたから情報を買っていたはずです。
Okay. So they're getting intel from him. He's telling the Viagers where they are, and then the Viagers go after the guys who are in the mines. I see.
それが何だというのです？バリャーグは常に動いてますし、環境情報だって生ものです。
なるほど。口を割らせるには報酬が足りなかったようです。
And this is why she does the negotiations and not us, because we are not this sly. Springfield smiles and gently taps a terminal. The screen flickers on before cutting to some footage of the wilderness. Did we set some cameras up? Is that what happened? Sabrina drags a Viagra in front of the camera.
やっと一人捕まえたよ。カルドの裏口のネズミよりすばしっこいんだから。
Wait, goblins? Sabrina, are you gonna bring over your Goblin Slayer outfit anytime soon? Because I would really love that. I would like to see that again. The captured Viagra struggles to break free from Sabrina's hold. Ruka moves in, deftly yanks on his writhing arm until it is dislocated, and finally snatches the terminal from his hand. She then shows the terminal to the camera. On the small device, several dots can be seen flickering, the exact coordinates of Polydisha's team.
羅針盤は今も位置情報をバリアーグに送信している。見えますか、指揮官。
Oh yeah, we see it. Or technically we don't see it, but yeah, we see it. Ah, dang. Shot. As she speaks, Kluka aims her gun at the vehicle not far behind. Following a muzzle flash, the screen on the vehicle shatters, and the positioning device is destroyed. Simultaneously, one of the dots flickering on the terminal disappears.
これで任務完了です。
And that's why they were so insistent on, like, installing the compass system to everyone when everyone had like perfectly working GPSs. Which, you know what? It was sus to begin with, and I think we figured that out a long time ago. But this guy just won't own up, so we have to get proof somehow. The footage ends, the cafe returns to silence, with Jakob's expression becoming far more sour than before.
羅針盤のインストールは全ての参加者に義務付けられています。バリャーグが位置情報を知っているのは偶然でしょうか。
当たり前でしょう。
He's sweating now.
俺は明らかにバリャーグが羅針盤をハッキングした結果だ。参加者の安全を守るためのシステムをこのような形で利用されて残念でなりません。こうなってはシステムを停止させるほかないでしょう。
By Jaggers? Hacking? What? Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure these guys, before they got so organized, only knew how to loot and pillage. Hacking was not part of their repertoire. Before Springfield can stop him, Jakob calls out to his secretary behind him.
何をほうけている？バリャーグが皆さんを撃ち殺す前にシステムを止めないか。はい。
The secretary hastily takes out terminal and frantically taps on it.
停止しました。
With the system turned off, a smile of relief appears on Jakob's face.
これで参加者の安全は守られました。ご報告感謝いたします。
Wow, he's covering it
ご
up.
安心ください。もう私たちもバリアーグも位置情報を知ることはできません。
それは何よりです。ね、指揮官。
はい、これで一安心です。
お礼にそのペリーという人形の捜索に全面的に協力させていただきましょう。何かあれば遠慮なくお伝えください。
Jakob smiles again in a friendly manner, but in response, Springfield simply takes a sip of coffee and sighs helplessly.
商人は何よりも信用が大事だと個人的に思っているのですが、残念ながらあなたは信用に足る人物ではないとお見受けします。
Smiling, Springfield picks up the terminal and presses the play button again. On the screen, evidence of Jakob's meeting with Peri is replayed. Oh, I guess his glasses do shift, huh?
ペリーが失踪する前の映像です。面識はあるはずなのに、一貫して関与を否定されてましたね。
Jakob glares at his secretary, who looks just as clueless as he is. Thinking back to prior events, he comes to a conclusion. While he successfully planted a mole in Polynesia's team, his own team had also been infiltrated without his knowledge.
ポルドニッツァ！
あなたの部下はこれよりも多くの情報を提供してくださりましたが、今は商談中です。この話はよしましょう。あまり困らせないよう指揮官に言いつけられています。誠意を見せていただければ、こちらもある程度は譲歩できますが。
Okay, so this is how we're doing the light roast, twisting the arm without actually twisting it all the way. I see.
これはやられました。可能ならまず誤解の方を解かせてください。
Oh wow.
あの夜、私は確かにペリーさんにお会いした。初日のレースで優秀な成績を収めた彼女を迎え入れようと思ってね。
Wow.
その行方は本当にわからないんです。
This guy is not really this guy's not giving up. What the heck?
まだまだ報酬にご満足いただけてないようですね。
What else do we have, Springfield? What else do we have? Undeniably, what can we give him? Springfield sets down the terminal and gently spins the cup in her hand.
ドラヘンさんへお伝えした倉庫の座標を覚えていますか？このように面談の時間と場所は変更しましたが、事前に様子を見に行かせていただきました。確かに大したラインナップです。
Treasures? What treasures?
市場の闇ブローカーたちが自分たちの奪われたはずの商品が並ばれている光景を見たら、どういった反応を示すのでしょうね。
I see. The cargo from everyone else's caravans. Got you. As if hearing the most amusing joke he has ever heard, Jakob leans back into his chair with a sense of relief.
闇ブローカーの扱う商品のバリエーションなどたかが知れる。私が奪った証拠はどこにあるというのです？商品に彼らの名前が書かれてるわけでもあるまいに。
It'd be fun if they did, though. It'd be funny if they did have like barcodes on them.
言動から察するに、あなたはグリーンエリアの人形ですね。指揮官から教わりませんでしたが、汚染エリアにはシリアルナンバーも起きてもない。あるのは金とそれを持つ人間だけ。
Your owner must have bought you from this green zone? Wow. You don't know the history of this girl. Holy crap. You have no idea what she's been through. It's been a... yeah.
随分とお行儀がいいんですね。
どういう意味です？
ここは汚染エリアで、あなたは闇ブローカー。いつから汚染エリアでは証拠がものを言うようになったんですか？
Seeing the sudden realization in her opponent's eyes, Springfield doesn't follow up right away. Like a playful cat with its prey cornered, she now only seeks entertainment.
闇ブローカーの法廷があるなら見てみたいですね、指揮官。
当然。世にも奇妙とはこのことだ。
Jakob sits across the table and picks up his cup in an annoyed fluster, only to realize his cup has long been emptied.
おや、飲み干したようですね。センタオレイシーさん、継ぎ足してください。
お構いなく。
And now we're back to things. Jakob instinctively wants to refuse, but he can't help but swallow the rest of his sentence under Springfield's smiling gaze, and watch as Santaresi approaches with a coffee pot to pour coffee into his cup. I kind of feel like Springfield... I don't know if this was the case before, but definitely after Griffin, Springfield has become of a somewhat of like a light mobster. She doesn't really like have a syndicate or anything like that, but she at least knows how to play by mob rules, and that's kind of scary. Time slows down to an unbearable crawl as the coffee slowly flows. Finally, Santaresi quietly withdraws while a petite dame brings her another pot full of freshly brewed coffee. But I think Jakob isn't in the right headspace to notice that.
確かに私はグリーンエリア出身です。仲間と共にカフェを営んでいました。
Just really good at using the information she gathers. Fair.
良好な関係を維持している間は芳醇なコーヒーをご提供しましょう。しかし今は指揮官の戦術人形。コーヒー以外のものもその気になればご提供できます。
Swap the coffee for something else. Baja Blast tea? Springfield's sentence is followed up by a targeting laser, deliberately flashing before Jakob's eyes, ultimately landing right on his tempo. Who is aiming? Is that Wawa? Is that Wawa with the rifle? Jakob looks up in a panic, but the sunlight outside temporarily blinds him. After regaining his vision, he sees the maid He sees the maid with her downcast eyes holding the coffee pot and staring calmly at him. Further away at the bar, the petite dame with exquisite makeup draws her heart in the air with a sweet smile. Oh, that's it was shark ray. Right. Shark, why did they use shark ray, not Wawa? Do you ever see the laser in real life? I do not know. I guess it would depend on how far you are. But I honestly don't know. Anyone who does guns, let the rest of us know. All this makes him freeze in place. Mocking the rafters? Could be. Instead of saying something, I merely pick up my coffee and take a sip. That's all really you can do. A light roast. Must have tasted incredibly bitter for our friend Jakob here. So we went from presenting evidence to actually threatening his life now. Wow. I guess if nothing else works, that's the last thing you can do. Jakob's laughter breaks the silence.
お見事です。ここまで来たらもうおとぼけは通用しませんね。ああ、そうさ。俺はバリャーグと手を組んでライバルを排除してもらっていた。それがどうしたというんだ。汚染エリアはそもそも弱肉強食。お前たちやポルトニッツァのような金と武器に物を言わせてきた連中が必死に生きてる人間の何がわかる。
Hold Nisha. Wait, you and the lot. Act so high and righteous while relying on the very same weapons and capital as I do? That's not the point here, dude. That's not the point here. The point is, you took our friend, and we want her back. And you're not giving her back. For what reason? That doesn't make any sense. But no.
俺だって正々堂々と生きたかったんだ。死人のものを回収して何が悪い。簡単に人を信じるような間抜けも遅かれ早かれ死ぬんだ。だったら俺が有効活用した方が人のためになる。
If it's a visible laser, possibly. If there's dust or smoke or something in the air, the light will diffuse and you can see it from the side. If not, you'll need to see where the beam is hitting. Can see the dot, but not the laser unless there's dust, right? Right. I guess that also makes sense now why those red dot sights are so freaking expensive. Because you want a high-powered laser, so you could actually see the target from very, very far away. That makes some sense now. He crashing out, definitely. I think this is what he did before, right? When he was with Polonista. Like, crap, what was it again? He didn't no, this is a little bit different. He didn't try to save his I guess co-workers, let's just say, because they're not friends. He didn't try to save his co-workers when he was working with Polonista. Instead, he just ran away by himself. For survival, basically. But I guess in this case, yeah, he's only looking out for himself, basically. Profits and his life. And look at Jakob, who's consumed by rage and frustration, but I have no desire to argue with him. I've seen his kind more times than I can count. A soul twisted and utterly consumed by the contamination zones. While collapsed radiation physically mutates humans into mindless beasts, desires born out of this harsh environment slowly turn them into demons. Also rob their corpses as well. Yep. Although tragic, it is no excuse for the atrocities they committed. Rage and survival instincts may allow one to weather the storm, but losing oneself in them will turn anyone into a monster clad in human skin.
ポルトニッツァに追い出されてからどんな目にあったか知っているか。安い商品を乗せた車に目をつけられないか、狂った生き袋に襲われないか、コーラップスストームに巻き込まれないかとビクビクしながら汚染エリアを行き来する日々だ。毎回経験に祈ったつもりなんだけどな。何事もなく戻ってこられたことは一度もない。それで思ったのさ。利用できるものは何だって利用してやろうってな。ここではどうせ力が全てなんだ。
You know what? I can see where he's coming from. I mean, I can see where he's coming from, but it ended up badly for him in this case.
あのバリャーグたちさえいれば、俺のキャラバンは永遠に最強だ。お前たちもポルトニッツァも、俺を舐めていた闇ブローカーどもも、誰も俺に勝てない。ああ、そうさ。今回もきっと助けてくれる。
The Viagers will help you? Nah, I feel like they're gonna turn on you as soon as they can.
戦術人形がいるからなんだと言うんだ。俺が死んだら、あいつらも黙っちゃいないからな。今すぐ呼んで。
Jakob takes out his terminal, but begins ringing even before he has time to make a call. Yeah, well, not the route I was thinking they'd take. I was hoping they would go straight for him, but I guess loot is really all the Viagers want anyway. Right, and that guy's dead too. There's a gunshot, and then the commuter gets cut off.
どういうことだ。
ヤクブ様、我々の所有する倉庫が次々とバリア軍の襲撃を受けています。すでに陥落した場所も。
なんだと。
Oh wow, the Viagers turned on me? For what reason? Why? Meanwhile, my terminal also receives a call from Groza.
指揮官、ブリーフからの支援が到着したわ。
Support units are in position? So is this an official brief commission now? I look at the panicking Jakob.
これ以上損失を出したくなければ今すぐ残りの倉庫の場所を言え。
And so that's what we're doing here. Merco. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Sorry, Groza, we're not gonna make this into a cannon fight because holy crap, this is gonna be very slow. Reach the coordinates of the indicated warehouse, now sharing environmental data. There are many Viagers here, so please be careful, Commander. Yeah, data received. Let's start. I'll leave this side to you. Understood. You won't be disappointed. And we're just gonna clear it out normally. Alright. Where is everyone? Dang, there's like multiple levels to this.
訓練の成果ね。
It's like kinda annoying. Oh, I don't have the 7 spread? Ooh. I thought I did. That's okay. I'll figure something out here. Okay, as long as I get the ones up top.
交代する今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。
Alright, and then can we get you here? Oh, there's one more up here. That's annoying.
交代する今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。
Wait, did that also got everyone down there? Because of the corrosion explosion? That's hilarious.
私が終わらせる。はい。
Okay.
指揮官、倉庫付近のバリア具はあらかた片付けたわ。ほとんどの物資は奪われて、一部しか回収できなかった。
分かった。レース参加者は無事か。
ええ、倉庫に人数を割いてたから、レースで略奪を行っていたのは少数よ。
そうか。引き続きブリーフとの連絡を。
了解。
Upon hanging my communication with Groza, I look over at Jakob, who is still stubbornly trying to contact his warehouses. The hollow gaze in his eyes has completely replaced the dignified facade he had been previously put on.
お前たちバリアグが俺の倉庫を襲うことを知っていたのか。ならどうして俺の商品を守らない。
We had a obligation to do that? I don't think so. No, we had no obligation to protect your warehouses.
残念ながら私たちやブリーフにとっても想定外です。
Jakob suddenly throws a terminal aside and yanks on his hair. His once meticulous maintained hair now lies in jumbled strands on top of his head, reminding me of the slum dwellers forced to live underground with no access to clean water and no way to maintain personal hygiene. Wow, I think he just called you a bum.
指揮官、バリアーグの動きが予測と違います。
予測
Springfield glances at me hesitantly, only continuing after receiving my nod of approval.
少し前、ドラヒェンさんに教えられた倉庫へ調査に向かったところ、警備員はバリアーグによって全滅。商品も全て略奪されていました。現場に落ちていた警備員の端末には未送信のメッセージがありました。それによればバリアーグの次の狙いは集落。
結局 俺も獲物だったということか。
Yeah, that's how Viagas work. Sorry about that, dude. Jakub suddenly pauses.
待てよ。ということは他の闇ブローカーから奪われたものを見つけたというのは嘘だったのか。
I guess it was a bluff. Springfield's silence completely breaks Jakub's last bit of resolve.
商談で人形に負けたのか。俺の人生一体。
ヤクブさん、商談はまだ終わっていませんよ。私たちの望む商品をご提供いただければ、こちらも報酬をお支払いします。それに加え、残った倉庫もお守りしましょう。
To be fair, the Viagra leader did call Jakub his precious sheep. Yeah, they did do that. They did do that.
ああ、わかったよ。あの人形の居場所を知っている。
Oh wow, you should have said that sooner. Dang. Wasn't so sure why you wanted to keep that hidden so badly. In the middle of the night, Jakub emerges from the other side of the secret door and sees Peri waiting for him.
本日のレースお見事でした、ペリーさん。この調子ならすぐに情報に必要なポイントを集められるでしょう。
ありがとうございます。それより師匠の手がかりを見つけたというのは。
ええ、これは知り合いから聞いた話ですが。
I don't think he actually knows where Thompson is.
なるほど。まさか師匠がクリスタルハンターになって名前も変えていたなんて、通りで見つからないわけだ。ありがとうございます。すぐに探しに行きます。
少々お待ちを。実はこれから出荷の予定があるのですが、せっかくですし乗って行かれては。部下にペリーさんを待つよう連絡しておきましょう。
Oh, so that's how they got her. It wasn't forcefully, they just kind of tricked her.
え、いいんですか？ではお言葉に甘えて、今指揮官に。
実は出荷予定の商品はそのクリスタルハンターたちが必要としている補給で一刻の猶予もありません。ペリーさんは今すぐ向かってください。エルモ号には私の方から連絡を入れましょう。
Wow, how convenient that this has to go like right away without contacting anyone.
でも
あと2分もすれば出発します。さあ。
じゃあお願いします。絶対に見つけないと。師匠。
Wow. Easily
部下に
tricked.
指示してお前たちの仲間をトンプソンのいるところ、つまりはバリアーグのキャンプ近くに連れて行った。途中で異常に気づかれたが、車にはジャマーをつけていたから問題なかった。
So even if she did try to, what do you call this? Send a distress signal when she got captured, she couldn't because of a jammer. Wow.
ジャマー手慣れているな。
まあな、この辺のバリアーグは機械と戦術人形ばかり漁っていたからな。今さらキャンプに向かったところでもう遅いだろう。
There was a girl in contact with the Viagers who's the actual probably mastermind of like organizing them. I don't think we've gotten a name though, or a silhouette, so I have no idea who they are. Supposedly we've met them before by voice alone, but I don't remember whatsoever.
どういうことだ？
奴らは回収した機械は改造して、人形は洗脳して自分たちの戦力にするんだ。
Oh, that's what they're doing. They're not just trying to sell Peri off, they're trying to use her for something else.
バリアーグにそんな技術が？
信じるかどうかはお前らの勝手だ。機械ばかり漁っているのも黒幕の差し金だろうな。
黒幕？
ああ、会ったことはないが、あいつらの真の指導者は他にいる。かなりのやり手だ。普段俺とやりとりしてるのはそいつの下にいるチンピラさ。
I see. So he's never seen the boss. The real master, if such a person exists inside the Viagers, then it would explain all the abnormalities. Why they're so smart these days. But right now, I have no time to ponder such matters. The smile on Peri's face when she reunited with Elmo lingers in my mind. I have to save her.
すぐにキャンプの場所を教えろ。
After obtaining the coordinates and notifying brief, I quickly set off with the dolls. Alright, that's where we are right now.
昔みたいに私に感謝するといいわ。
Okay. How many more battles are there? I think there's like 2 more. And then a heck ton of story afterwards. Yeah, 2 more, and then story. The same endless darkness sears through the neural cloud with unbearable agony. And she's trying not to get deleted. I can't recall. Those memories that were here, what were they supposed to be? I can't remember. The gaps are widening, the blanks are expanding. Once cherished neural records break and fade away. Even though she knows she can't possibly win, Peri refuses to give in. She walks through that door again and again, only to be struck down by Springfield once more. The override creeps forward with each fall, and it won't be long before everything that makes her Peri is gone.
やだ。
Kneeling in the darkness, the broken yet constantly melding neural records tangle around her like a nightmare, one that she can never get a firm grip on. Data 1 erased, whatever that was. How many overrides has it been? Peri has been forcibly subjected to this neural override program ever since she was deceived by Jakob. Purging units repeatedly attack her, level 2 overwhelming her. With every fall, Peri can distinctly feel the loss of a certain fragment of her memory. It started with the frustration of missing corner pieces, but now the entire puzzle is becoming unrecognizable. There is a brief pause as the program reloads, and the purging units won't attack in this brief moment. It's a rare moment of respite, but Peri would rather not be in here in the first place. Surrounded by darkness and solitude, enough to drive anyone mad, it's hard to imagine what kind of person can get used to this place.
ここに師匠はいなかった。油断した。これなら指揮官様と一緒に動いていた方が良かった。
I'm actually kind of surprised she'd survived this long. This 10 years, but then again, I'm assuming she was with Thompson for the entire time. And Thompson only recently left for whatever reason. And now she's trying to look for Thompson.
その通り。
Oh, is this evil Springfield? Enduring the searing pain, Peri subconsciously assumes a defensive posture and looks around warily. But she does not spot the person who spoke to her.
誰ですか？
今教えても意味がない。上書きが完了したら私のことも忘れる。
If you let the override progress, you'll soon forget who I am, even if you knew. Yeah, I know what that makes sense. For some reason, I was thinking this might be Thompson's voice, but I guess we don't really have that. I guess technically speaking, we have Thompson's voice in Girls Frontline 1, and I don't think it sounded like this anyway.
人形にとっての死は素体の破壊ではなく、メンタルの消失なんだから。
何が目的ですか？
メンタルログを見せてもらった。貿易会社に勤めていたそうね。
商談？
A deal.
上書きプログラムの穴を見つけた。それを利用すれば ある程度プログラムを書き換えることができる。
Can modify the override program to a certain extent. People are thinking this Thompson's voice. I feel like it's not, but I'm not sure why.
プログラムを終了させるには、あなた自身が停止コードを演算しなければならない。
You'll need to regenerate the program's termination code yourself.
私にできるのは安全な演算環境を提供するだけ。あなたは特定プロセスでコードを割り出して。
特定プロセス？どういうことですか？
あなたのメンタルログからあなたにとって馴染みのある環境、出来事、人物を構築した。例えばあなたの仲間の人形たちはそれぞれ特定の演算子に対応している。それらを正しい順番に並べ替えるのが最終的な停止コードを導き出すプロセス。
Brute force, wow.
こちらから都度次の演算子を提示するから、あなたがやることはその演算子に対応した人形を大会やレースで勝たせること。脱落の順番もコードの特定に重要なプロセスだけど、その辺も私がアシストする。これを何度か繰り返すことで停止コードがわかる。複雑そうに聞こえるけど、やることは至ってシンプル。あなたはグリフィンの戦術人形としてできることをすればいい。
わかりました。ではあなたが求める見返りは何ですか？
あなたが安全にここから脱出すること。
本当にそれだけですか？他に目的は？
疑ってどうするの？
I mean, you also want to get out of there, so no choice in this matter.
上書きプログラムを止めなければあなたは死を迎える。これ以上繰り返させないで。
わかりました。その商談乗ります。
交渉成立。
In the darkness, a door opens.
この中に入れば私のよく知る環境とみんなが待っているんですね。
ええ、あなたの期待通りというわけにはいかないけど。
At this point, Peri can't possibly grasp the meaning behind the voice, and it's clear that they have no intention of explaining further. Peri holds onto her gun tightly and steps through the door. Data 2. Also deleted. Again. Oh, 3 shots now. Oh, we're back in here. Following the last gunshot, the hand that Peri uses to wield her weapon begins to tremble and tears well up in her eyes. Oh, this is I think that we're back at the final scene of part 1. Finally, she collapses, feebly kneeling on the ground. Her surroundings gradually shatter and fade, leaving her alone in the darkness.
本当にやらないといけないんですか？他の選択肢はないんですか？
上書きプログラムより先に演算結果を抹消しなければ、メンタルログは根本的に抹消される。何度も言わせないで。
だって自分の手で大切な仲間をそんなこと。
Man, if this is what a manual cleanup is, why is it like such a manual process?
データの塊でしかない。何をそんなに悲しんでるの？
それでもみんな優しかった。現実と一緒で。
あなたのメンタルログをもとに再現した存在なんだから当たり前。あなたがそう思うのは、それがあなたにとっての仲間たちだから。
じゃあ本物の仲間たちじゃないですか。私は背が小さくて弱いのがコンプレックスだったんです。だから師匠のようなかっこいい一人前の人形になりたかったんです。
Peri, I don't know if you remember, but you were much smaller than this. I feel like you got a different frame. You were much smaller than this.
自分のために一方的にみんなを殺すなんて私にはできません。本物の記憶を守るためなのは理解しています。それでも私の銃はこんなことをするためにあるんじゃ。
I'm gonna wonder if I know she's in like in a cleanup process right now, but I kind of wonder if she's gonna be able to tell what's real and what's not once she wakes up.
その愚直さが一回一回のループを困難にしていることがわからないの？
They only result in unexpected difficulties and opponents you have to deal with.
すみません。でも私にとっては本物と変わらないんです。でもあなたの助けがあればいずれ停止コードを割り出せます。もう暗闇も苦じゃありません。現実と虚構の区別もちゃんとつけます。
Oh, you can actually figure it out now. I see.
私にできることは限られてる。あまり頼らない方がいい。それに私たちは別に友達でもない。次の演算が始まる。準備して。
Data 3? Is this deleted?
どうしていきなり消えたんですか？おかげでモッピーの挙動も試合もめちゃくちゃになって。
Oh, that's why the Moppy seems smarter than usual. But the actual competition probably happened. It's just that we saw a little bit of weirdness there.
サブリナが今回の演算師だった。彼女が脱落した時点で演算を続ける意味はない。
でも
私たちにはおままごとをしてる時間がないんだよ。
These simulations exist only to generate the termination code, not to offer a blissful dream to indulge in. This is a fact that both know all too well.
はい、ちゃんと分かってます。でもそのおままごとが私を突き動かしてくれてるんです。演算結果を抹消した時、スプリングフィールドさんが消えましたが、影響はありますか？
わからない。システムが異常データに早めに対処した可能性がある。今のところ異常は認められない。
よかったです。これでゴールが近づいてきましたね。あなたのおかげです。もしかしたら次の演算で停止コードがわかるかもしれませんよね。
そう簡単にはいかない。
次がダメでもその次できっと。
I wonder how many loops she went through.
上書きプログラムには必ず防衛機能がついてる。それがいつ呼び起こされるかわからない。防衛機能が働いたら私はすぐに離脱する。だから急いで。
Oh. The pain and scorching sensation brought by the override continues to torment Peri. Not wanting to forget, Peri desperately recalls fragments of her neural records. At the very least, she mustn't forget where she is and what she's doing so that she has a chance to make it out alive. As Peri encourages herself with these words, true and false memories slowly merge into an amalgamation as her neural cloud gradually collapses. Data 4? Data 4, we're in the... Ah, crap, what do we call this again? A fair? Peri leans against the car door. The compass on the screen inside flickers unusually.
絶対に停止コードを絶対に見つけないと。
Oh, okay. So the thing that was censored before is that termination code thing. I think we actually cleared that up last time. I forgot about it.
師匠。
もう一度聞きます。あの夜、誰と話していたんですか？
Okay, so all this happened before this event. How long has it been going on for?
私は一体誰と話して、私はどこに、何が 本当なの？
Like a jumbled mess, her mind has been shattered and stitched together again and again. Broken, redundant, disordered, chaotic, and viscid. Peri is in complete disarray.
隠れても無駄です。
Hiding is pointless.
諦めてください。
Someone did not check the text thoroughly. We have a little bit of a not hex code, markup code. Yeah, a little bit of markup code left in the text. Color needed another hyphen, or caret.
私には勝てません。あなたを助けていた不具合はすでに修正済みですから。
私だけじゃ何もできない。ずっとこうだ。私はやっぱり弱い。
どうだ、新しい装備には慣れたか？
Oh, what's this one?
似合ってるぞ。
師匠のように強くなるって誓ったのに。改造した人形を高く見すぎてるのか、それともただ自分を卑下しすぎてるのか。
This sounds like it could be Thompson. I don't know why, but this sounds like it could be Thompson.
成績がいささか足りないのは確かだ。そう考えてるのはお前だけだ。私は結局一人前にはなれなかった。
ペリーって変わったよね。昔と全然違う
Who is this?
な。なんというか、小さいけどすごい頼もしいというか。
Who is this?
弱いままで自分の記憶すら守れない。
Oh, that was Sabrina? Oh, okay. I couldn't tell through the distortion.
それはないよ。だってみんな戦術人形なんだよ。
Okay, no, I hear it now. I hear it now.
焦る必要はない。
ペリー、勝ったらまた会おうね。
でも
大丈夫だ。どんな結果になっても私はここで待ってる。
At last, the distraught Peri raises her head.
時間が経っても変わらないな。私は一人前になろうと思っても人に頼ってばかり。心のどこかでずっと助けてもらえると思ってた。助けがなければ怯えて一歩も前に進めない。自分の身は自分にしか守れないんだから。
Peri wipes away her tears. You're speaking as if you didn't win.
スプリングフィールドさんには一度も勝てたことはありませんが、もう大丈夫です、指揮官様。メンタルに欠損があっても現実と虚構の違いが分からなくなっても。
Alright, see you, G&G.
停止コードも師匠も絶対に見つけるんだ。それが強い人形になるということなんだから。過去がどうであれ、これからの現実はちゃんとつかむ。
At last, Peri stands up, weapon firmly in hand.
今までの全てを私の力に待っててください、皆さん。
As the new override process finishes loading, a glowing doorway appears in front of her. Just like she has done countless times before, Peri walks through it once more. However, she is certain that this time will be the last. Okay. And that's where we get into a fight here. Oh, yep. Springfield is there. The Springfield. Springfield is waiting for her. After the voice disappeared, no matter how many cycles she has gone through, Springfield is always waiting for her at the very moment she initiates a new simulation. Like the countless times before, Springfield flashes a polite yet cold smile at Peri before training her rifle on her. But unlike before, this time, Peri no longer runs away.
ようやく決心したようですね。抵抗を続けても時間の無駄です。おとなしくしていればまたみんなと会えるかもしれないんですよ。
The reunions you long for don't need to be a pipe dream after all. Peri raises her weapon and points it right at Springfield.
まだ続けますか。ここにいる限り私には勝てないというのに。あなたのメンタルの中ではスプリングフィールドは強大な存在。彼女へ抱くイフの念がそのまま私への恐怖に変わり、私を強くする。何度試しても同じです。
Rather than panicking or trembling, all Springfield sees is the muzzle of Peri's weapon.
そうですね。スプリングフィールドさんはすごい人です。でもあなたは違います。
She can tell it's not Springfield, thank goodness.
本物のスプリングフィールドさんは温かくて優しくて、それに怒ったスプリングフィールドさんの方が1万倍怖いです。計算していませんでしたか？私は計643回の演算を行いました。スプリングフィールドさんに負けたのは151回、勝ったのは412回、そのうち126回はあなたに破壊されましたが、私の攻撃は237回届きました。
Okay, so she's been keeping count. And looks like the numbers are in her favor somehow.
へえ。
わかりませんか？私には賞賛があるんです。なのに他人に頼りきりで思い込みで負けを認めてきた。こんなことみんなに知られたら笑われちゃいます。
うるさい。
Springfield pulls the trigger before Peri can finish, but Peri manages to swiftly dodge the bullet.
メンタルログなんかじゃ温かい気持ちも励ましも楽しい時間も再現することはできません。だから私は絶対にみんなのところへ帰ります。そんなデータで再現されたあなたなんかただの出来損ないです。
You know what gets me is those hundreds of loops probably didn't take very long. But then again, I guess it just only took as long as when she was missing up until we probably find her, which is, I feel like a day or two at most. But yeah, that is a lot of loops in that short amount of time.
あなたのことは私が一番知っています。そして今の私はあなたより強い。
Now bereft of hesitation, without worries, devoid of anxiety, Peri pulls the trigger with resolute determination.
私のメンタルを返してください。
Yeah, for her it's probably been an eternity. If you want your neural cloud back... Oh, dang. Now I kind of wish I had like a Peri to do this with. Come and take it. Do we just go straight for her? Oh! She actually takes her glasses off here. Interesting. Virgil Springfield? Just so you wait, I won't lose. Let me see if there's a support Peri. That would be interesting to see. Is there a support Peri? No, no one has Peri on support. No one has Peri on support. Well, what if I do Springfield versus Springfield? Would that be funny or what? Maybe Springfield on Springfield. 7 turns though? I don't know. Springfield's like single target, right? So she won't be able to clear this up very quickly. Ultimate AoE summon. I guess this initial ult is AoE, but it's not going to be fast enough. I mean, technically it could be fast enough, but let's just make sure we clear this quickly. Okay. Let me see. How does this work? Ah, okay. How to target. I used her Enduring Gunsmoke, but I didn't remember exactly how that would do it. Let me see. I kind of wish it didn't have to like target for the AoE though. That's kind of annoying. Well, that guy died. Oh, okay. So the bird flies over. I see. Vector, there's no cooking here. This is way too easy to cook with. I'm just saying. Chill. Finally, well, did we get? I mean, this wouldn't be the first time she got her, or it. With a look of disbelief on her face, Springfield collapses as her core is pierced by the bullet. Having exhausted her last ounce of strength, Peri collapses to the ground. Her scarred body finally gets a moment of rest, but instead of happiness, it's a feeling of exhaustion that overwhelms her. It is at this moment that Peri realizes that the simulated space is beginning to collapse. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? This is to be expected. Once the voice has disappeared and Peri's neural records become sparse, there are barely any fragments remaining to support a stable simulation. She has ignored all this up until now due to her pain. Springfield sneers mockingly upon noticing Peri's expression. So how do we get rid of the program? As Springfield gradually dissipates, her body reverts into basic character streams. Before Springfield completely disappears, Peri once again picks up her weapon. We'll get to you, don't worry. It'll just take a little while to beat the answer out of someone. Springfield versus Evil Springfield would have been funny, but probably would have taken too long.
指揮官、この先がバリアーグのキャンプです。偵察ドローンを出しましたが、今のところ攻撃を受けていません。
With the vehicle parked in a secluded spot, I leave the dolls and observe the camp from a long distance away.
外は誰もいないね。本当にバリアーグがいるのかな？
Would it be called Autumn Field? You know what? Is it Autumn Field or is Fall Field? What's the difference between autumn and fall? Like, I feel like we use the two things for the same season, but honestly, I guess it just depends where you're from. Think Winterfield is more evil? I was actually thinking Winterfield also. I was thinking Winterfield. They are the same, right? They are the same. It's just a little confusing when people say fall and autumn. It's like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Some people make a distinction. I don't know what the distinction is. Let's see. Completely deserted from the outside, not a single guard. No, are there Viagras around?
物資も乗り物もないし、もぬけの殻って感じだよね。
Depends how pretentious you are. Oh, is it like that one TikTok meme where someone like uses the really complicated, not complicated, the classier word for something simple, like a corpse, cadaver, corpse, manor, mansion. Crap, how did that go? I've seen it a long time ago, but it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Vehicles and supplies are gone as if they retreated. Let's see.
おじけづいて逃げたんじゃない？
Turned tail and ran because they suffered a small setback in the plan.
いや、これは
An ambush.
おもてなしの用意ができているようですね。
どうすれば。
I forgot you were here, Mei Ling. I was expecting you to be in the Elmo, but I forgot you were here.
ペリーの居場所がわからない以上入ってみるしかない。メイリンとセンタウレイシーは私と残れ。グローザ、ブリーフの部隊と500メートル離れた位置でキャンプを包囲しろ。
了解。そっちも気をつけて。
大丈夫だ。他は私の合図まで突入準備。
A short while later, Springfield, who's in charge of the entry team, sends a message.
指揮官、キャンプ内には少数の機械があるだけで誰もいません。
建物をしらみつぶしに探せ。
はい。東側の倉庫は機械が少し残ってる以外異常なし。西側も同様です。ペリーはいませんでした。
Where is she?
北も同じ。狙撃の準備も済んだわ。これ本当に意味あるの？誰もいないじゃない。南側はうわー！
Oh, found something? Oh, Sabrina found something. Following Sabrina's scream, a loud thud of something heavy collapsing comes through the comms.
どうした？
大きい機械が動き出した。支援をお願い。指揮官様、こっちの機械も。皆さん、冷静に対象を排除してください。サブリナさんは交代してキャンプの中部で合流。
グローザ、増援部隊を向かわせろ。
了解。
Is this a fight? Oh, this is the boss. I see. I saw you in Gunsmoke already. Is this a bear? I couldn't exactly tell what this thing was. I guess that stance is pretty bear-like. What did they do? Did they make like a mecha bear? Is that what this is? For some reason, I thought this was just like a gigantic Viagra, but now that I look at the field, I do see it's basically a mecha bear. Canonical Gunsmoke boss appearance. Machine, but shaped like a bear. At least the Gunsmoke boss itself wasn't very difficult. Like, it was annoying more than anything, but it wasn't difficult at all. You know what's funny though? When during Gunsmoke, you were supposed to use the ammo mechanic to clear the shield and the boss. But when I used my fire team, one day I just started using auto, and I got a similar, if not higher score, ignoring the ammo mechanic.
指揮官、
I don't know how that
バ
was
リアルの機
possible.
械はすべて無力化されました。
So maybe the ammo mechanic was just bait into having you min-max the thing. Because I think I was still able to get 4,800 to 4,900 with the fire team. With the corrosion team, it was like 3,500. Not very high, but still, I feel like respectable. No kill, but eh. not been maxing here. As long as you get to like the top 5% or something, it's like max rewards anyway.
そうか。ペリーは
まだ捜索中です。先ほど大型機械をサブリナさんに確認していただきましたが、おそらくヤクブさんがおっしゃっていた略奪品です。
Yep, heavy machinery.
大幅に改造されていて、見た目はいい加減ですが、使われている技術は間違いなくグリーンエリアのものです。
Green area origin for the machines? Interesting. Are you using pure teams or incorporating Hydro as well? For my fire team, it was a pure fire team. For my corrosion team, really the only three you need for corrosion is G11, Klukai, and Cat. So the other two slots I had... Who did I put for the other two slots? I had Springfield and Tololo for those other two slots. Yeah, that's kind of what I did. Maybe it's the what they stole from the another PMC group? Possibly. I wish I could show you my team comp, but I can't access those records anymore. You're saying it's the Viagers, you're saying the Viagers are deliberately localizing it?
バリアーグのセンスという線もありますが、その可能性は大きいと思います。ご存知の通り、汚染エリアに司法の手は及びません。
It's the Wild West out here.
わかった。
いた、指揮官、ペリーがここに。
Oh, they found Peri. Did we save Peri? Maybe not yet. We still gotta get rid of the override program. But step 1, find Peri. Step 2, get Peri's portrait. Sorry, BP's still gonna be... No. I don't use BP anymore. I use G11. And G11's gonna stay there. BP forgotten. Sorry, BP. You will be there forever in my icons, at least.
あそこだよ。さっきデカブツが出てきたところ。
In a dark compartment on the side of the warehouse, Peri lies silently on the operating table with her eyes tightly shut.
ペリー、起きて。聞こえる？
Sabrina attempts to wake her up, but Peri remains unresponsive.
指揮官、ペリーが多分フリーズしてるんだと思う。
She has crashed, literally.
私に見せてください。
Quickly connecting Peri to her portable device, Mei-Ling begins an emergency examination.
そんな、指揮官。
どうした？
ペリーさんはフリーズではなく、メンタルを何かのプログラムによって占領、攻撃されている状態です。
プログラム？まさかヤクブの言ってた洗脳プログラムか？
Yeah, the brainwashing thing.
上書きのことですか？はい、今まさに実行されています。
止められるか？
試してみないと。上書きプロセスはそんなに早くないので、可能性はあります。
ああ。
She says it's running quite slow. I guess if you think about how many loops it's been. Not loops. I guess if you think about how many loops it's been, maybe it's technically slow. But also that's a lot of loops in 2 days. Her fingers fly across the keyboard. Countless windows pop up and close. Beads of sweat slowly drip down her forehead, and this is why we have Mei-Ling with us.
これでもそんな。
The dolls gather around while the brief support units search through the camp. But Mei-Ling is completely unbothered by all this.
あれ、これは停止コード。ありました。指揮官。
Mei-Ling suddenly looks up, grabs onto my arm and shakes it excitedly.
ゆっくり。
落ち着いて聞いてください。ペリーさんは確かにメンタルを占領されています。でもペリーさんはどうやら自力で停止コードを演算しているようです。私たちが来る前に何度もペリーさんはずっと諦めずに耐えていたんです。私だけではどうにもなりませんでしたが、力を合わせればこの状況を打開できるかもしれません。
私たちはどうすればいいんですか？
セカンダリレベルに接続してペリーさんの演算を支援してください。上書きプロセスよりも早く。演算状況を画面に表示させるので指揮官も協力お願いします。
ああ。
Everyone's diving into the same doll.
停止コードを特定しないと
Oh, that's different.
発生した情報とログがごちゃ混ぜになってメンタルが非常に混乱している。メイリンの言った通りなら停止コードはこの中に隠されているはずだ。メイリンたちが演算支援を行い、私が現実と虚構のデータを仕分ければいいのか。よし、ペリーを連れ戻しに行くか。
Click anywhere to continue. Wait, am I actually gonna have to do something? Oh, wow. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, let me see what I can find out, figure out here. Why did Peri shoot at us? She was seeing things turn trade after being overridden. Clearing progress ahead of time. Clearing progress.
これだ。メイリンによれば、ペリーの演算が失敗した場合、上書きプログラムより先に手動で演算結果を抹消しなければならない。そうしないとメンタルログは消され、次の演算を開始できない。演算によって生まれた私たちも抹消の対象。ペリー、辛かっただろうな。早く助け出さないと。
It's the Ian doesn't read quiz. I was thinking about that just now. If you skipped everything and got to this point, can you actually skip the quiz? Or are you forced to do this? Let me see. On which days did Peri participate in the rally? She took part on both days. She only took part on the first day. She only took part on the first day, I think.
そうだ。初日以降、ペリーは失踪した。
Okay, so you can't skip. Yeah, I saw the skip button, but I wasn't sure if that actually worked. What exactly is Peri looking for? Termination code in Thompson, not Springfield and Thompson, and Thompson. Misspelling of Thompson.
それだ。上書きプログラムを終了させる。師匠を探す。それがペリーの目的だ。
I guess also.
何度もレースを繰り返してきたんだ。
I guess also this quiz is also for like, did you understand what the heck was going on, even if you did read? What does Peri feel about everyone? Affection.
そうだ。ペリーはずっとみんなのことが好きなんだ。現実でもそうじゃなくても、この気持ちは本物。じゃなければ、演算で再現された世界がこんなに穏やかなわけがない。すべての苦しみを一人で抱え込んで。
See, what is Peri's wish? To find her master Thompson, become a doll who can stand on her own, to return to everyone's side. I think it's all of these, actually. But if I had to pick one, this one.
これが今回のイベントに来た理由だ。手がかりは見つけられなかったが、いつか必ず。
Start simulation. I am Luxor something.
でもこれどういう意味でしょう。プログラムの名前とか。指揮官、早くプログラムを停止させましょう。
I have no idea what this means. It looks French. Stop override.
今行くからな、ペリー。
Oh, there was a flash of something there. With a combined effort from all the dolls, a termination code is quickly generated. On the pitch black screen, the slowly progressing program flickers a few times before finally coming to a stop. Yeah, I don't know anything about this lustratio. Wait, does it say? It doesn't. Lustratio, whatever the heck that is. Override aborted.
やった！停止しました！指揮官、ペリーさんを起こしてください。
I nod and hit the key to reactivate Peri. Where is the button to reactivate them? That'd be kind of hilarious if we can just like accidentally shut down like a T-doll mid operation. Lust ratio? Ah, that's hilarious. Seconds flow by.
反応がないじゃない。まさかこのまま。ベリーちゃん。
No, I mean like outside the computer. Outside the computer. Like, do they have a button somewhere?
ベリーさん。
With all the voices calling out to her, Peri finally opens her eyes. Is she her?
ペリー
Springfield and I help Peri slowly sit up. Peri stares at me blankly, as if just woken up from a dream.
指揮官。
Hey. Ah, crap, how did it go? Ah! Jokes I want to use and I can't remember. I see you just woke up.
おはようペリーみんな心
You're
配して
finally
たぞ
awake. That's what it was. You're finally awake. Those bandits got you, didn't they?
みんな。私。
全部終わったもう大丈夫だ
Peri looks around in confusion. Do you remember anything from your neurocloud crash out? Macchiato stands slightly further away with her arms crossed. Sharkry is bending down and smiling at her. Sabrina and Mei Ling stand at either side, both with tears in their eyes, especially Mei Ling. Springfield sits beside her and gently places a comforting hand on her shoulder. Meanwhile, I reach out to her to softly pat the top of her head as I stand in front of her.
おかえり
Peri's eyes gradually regain their luster. Then large drops of tears begin to well up in her eyes. I'm pretty sure they're falling already. She takes my hand and gently squeezes my palm. It takes a while before she finally looks up at me. Tears have already moistened her cheeks, but she puts on a smile and throws herself into my arms.
指揮官。皆さん。
I wasn't prepared for the zoom in. I feel like the zoom in was nice, but also I wish they had a CG for that. Personal preference though. So that's why there was like a weird little icon by that story node. I see, because it was a terminal sequence. I'm not crying, you're crying. It's already dark by the time we head back towards the settlement, but the streets and alleys are still bustling with energy. After taking care of the aftermath, Mei Ling and I reach the entrance of the fair. A convoy of vehicles is slowly rolling out of the intersection. Polonishta is at the head, directing workers in the loading and unloading of cargo, and Springfield is at her side. Seeing us approach, Polonishta raises her head and greets us.
スプリングフィールドから聞いたよ。消えたお仲間が見つかったってね。
みんなのおかげでなんとかそっちもうまくいったようだな
Seems you got the deal?
スプリングフィールドが翼を授けてくれたおかげさ。
What's a Talaria? Most magnificent Talaria. I don't know what that is. Don't think I've seen that word before.
ポルドニッタさんは何を言っているんですか？
You and me both, Mei Ling. Mei Ling glances at me with a look of desperation.
それはスプリングフィールドに聞いてみないとなエルモ号一の商人だ商売の秘訣もセットで教えてもらおう
もったいぶった仕返しですか？
Bitter? I wouldn't be. I'm just glad you're on our side.
まさか君を怒らせたらエルモ号が売られてしまいそうだ
She was able to get a helicopter for us. She could easily also maybe sell off the Elmo if she really wanted to.
そんな印象を抱かれていたのですね。
She gazed at me with a playful expression. The dazzle of the market cast a soft yet mysterious glow on her face.
ではご説明します。
Reference to a Greek myth, basically the winged shoes of the messenger god Hermes. Oh. I didn't realize that. Okay. Fine, enough teasing. Here's the truth. Okay.
ドラヘンさんは情報屋の仕事で知り合った仲介人です。
Wall of
政
text.
府エリアと汚染エリアの間に立つことが多く、今回はホワイトエリアの企業に依頼されて実力のある闇ブローカーとパイプを持つよう動いていました。
Okay, so let me summarize that because she said a lot of things. Draken met her and expand business she wanted to. Okay. And somehow Springfield and Draken are business partners, kind of. Got you.
ポルドニッツァさんは本来最有力候補だったはずですが、ヤクブさんがどこからか情報を聞きつけ、先方により低い報酬を提示したのです。
私のキャラバンから情報を仕入れるとはなかなかやるよ。
そこで先方は比較検討するために両者を調査しました。ヤクブさんを調べてこのことを知った私はドラヘンさんに連絡して報酬と交換に協力を申し出ました。
Okay, so Springfield had another operation happening in the background while we were doing other things here. Wow, she's sneaky. When did this doll get so sneaky?
そうやって薬部の倉庫の場所を知ったのか。
ええ。
Yeah.
さらにヤクブさんに圧力をかけるようお願いしました。
Yeah, I think we did get that info about Draken being the client that he was talking about. I think we did see her also. Yeah, I kind of remember from last time we did get to see what she looked like. But she didn't stay on the screen for too long. So I kind of forgot about it.
ここまでうまくいったのもポルドニッツァさんのおかげです。
大したことじゃない。こっちはネズミを捕らえることができた上に大きなビジネスを成功させたんだ。あの監視カメラの映像くらい安いもんさ。
Caught the mole in Polynesia's team and got another deal to happen. Nice, everyone wins except for Jakob, maybe.
それだけじゃない。こちらの人形がレースでバリャーグを倒したことも自分の手柄としてクライアントにアピールしたんだろう。
Is she not gonna also ask what happened to Coffee? I guess that doesn't matter at this point. Because she knows Coffee's in good hands.
もうやすやすと騙されてくれないか。わかった。次来た時は値引きしておくよ。
ポルドニッツァさんを餌に大きな魚が釣れました。
よくわかりませんが、すごいことをしてたんですね。
Mei Ling, don't worry about it. I'm with you on this one. Everything seems to be complicated and kind of over my head, but I'm trying to piece it together. You don't have all the information. How about Vepli? Vepli is none of Polynesia's concern. That is Saja. Saja is the one who gave Vepli to us. So, little different.
商人同士の至ってシンプルな取引です。メイリンさんも大人になれば、いえ、一生わからない方がいいかもしれません。
Some things are best left unsaid, Mei Ling. You don't want to know what happens in the dark corners of this place.
そうですか?
Yes, absolutely. Because it just gets confusing sometimes. Facing the smiling Springfield, Mei Ling scratches her head in confusion. Suddenly she remembers something.
そうだ、指揮官、本当にヤクブさんを見逃すんですか？ペリーさんをあんな目に合わせてバリャーグと組んで大勢の人を陥れたんですよ。
Good question. What are we gonna do with him?
指揮官を責めてやりなさんな。これは私の意思なんだ。
Wonder if the next broker we meet will give us a doll. Well, technically speaking, if you want to point out the next broker that we meet, Jakob would have been it, right? But technically speaking, we're not actually dealing with him, so maybe that doesn't count. Who will be the next broker we meet? Maybe Draken? Is she gonna give us someone? We'll have to find out. Maybe she'll give us Thompson, for all we know. Amida's literally giving us Captain... Oh, you know what? You're right. I didn't think about that. Oh, wow. Amida, the small broker, young broker, I don't know how you want to refer to her, who was with Zhao Wei, Jiao Wei. I'm trying to remember how Mo pronounced that name. But anyway, she was with Z. Well, I'm gonna call her Z from now on. She was with Z, and I guess she's giving us Captain China somehow. Wait, did we get 2 dolls out of her technically? I guess technically Z wasn't with her. She was with Team Monsoon. But they do know each other, so that doesn't really count. Never mind. Captain China though. Forgot her since she's not even appearing in any other events other than that story chapter. Yeah, she's a very small role, but technically speaking, we've been getting a doll for almost every single broker we come across, which is kind of hilarious. We got Peri from him. I guess if you really want to count it that way, sure, why not? But it's still hilarious that we get a doll from each broker. So who's next? Who is next and from who? Anyway, that would be a question for me, Miss Mei-Ling. After all, I was the one who asked the commander to let him go. Oh, okay. So we let the Jakob go. So no consequences from us, but maybe consequences from Polynista?
Huh?
Instead of rushing to explain, Polynista looks over at her team, who's working together to lift a large cargo box in the garage. While still wearing rough garments, I am certain they now walk a different path from those who only dwell in the underground slums, despite their undoubtedly shared origin. As this perilous wasteland undergoes its own natural selection process, the government's relief effort is merely a drop in the bucket. If mankind doesn't pursue changes, they will eventually join the fine sand beneath their feet. Where did this come from? Underground brokers are such agents of change. Okay, I see. If humans are feeble ants in the face of collapse contamination, then settlements like this are the ant hills. Brokers' convoys move like a marching ant trail, winding its way through the wasteland between one ant hill and another. Some of them grow fangs and find treasures, even if those treasures might be nothing but scraps in the eyes of those living in the safety zones. Others are crushed and inevitably absorbed into the wasteland.
ヤクブはキャラバンを解散しようとしているようだった。
やっと闇ブローカーとしてのあり方を理解したってのかね。
Well, you seem friendly enough, so I don't know how bad could it get. I guess whatever Jakob did, that was pretty bad.
私たちは無法者だが、一線をわきまえなければならない。賞金ハンターやバリアーグと遜色ない武装をしているが、根本的に違うのは私たちは商人だってことだ。一線を越えた奴をメルクリウスは守ったりしない。
Their peers have a duty to banish them completely, I see.
たく、人間ってのは厄介だね。
Polynista goes on while still looking at her crew.
闇ブローカー同士に秘密なんてないのに。腐れ縁としての情けだ。今夜はヤクブに生きるのに必死だった人間のために祈りを捧げよう。
I stopped the still confused Mei-Ling from asking further and lead her and Springfield away, leaving the calm of the night all to Polynista. Oh hey, it feels like I haven't seen the Elmo in forever. Last time I saw the Elmo was when we saved 404 and had a little reminiscing of Dimitri and his men. Fully repaired Elmo. I don't think we've actually seen this like damaged, right? But I guess it wasn't repaired. Repaired quotations. Hey, you know what's gonna happen in the future? Fully explorable Elmo. Who's ready for that? I'm ready for that. I hope you guys are ready for that. I think it'll be interesting, but I'm holding my breath though on how big the exploration area is going to be. You don't remember the rocket assault? I don't remember the rocket assault, but now that you mention it, I remember when that happened. We need turrets for the Elmo. You would think it would have turrets. For some reason, it doesn't. Like, I guess technically it could fit some. But no, it's just a base with no gun. And the Viagra ambush at the very beginning of the game? I suppose. Yeah, I suppose. I don't even remember if that did any damage, but I do remember the rocket thing getting through. We did have deployable turrets, but that was way back in Chapter 1. Was there deployable turrets back in Chapter 1? I don't remember. The only thing I remember from Chapter 1 that that I wish we still had was the airstrike drone. But we got the airstrike drone for one whole map at the tutorial and never saw that thing again. Like, you can say we are too poor to replace said airstrike drone, but at the same time, why introduce said airstrike drone so early into the game and never actually bring it up again? You know what I mean? It's like, it's a whole mechanic that could have been a thing, but we're here several chapters later, several events later, and 2 to 3 years in CN, and we still don't have anything like that. We bought turrets from Polonista for the end of Chapter 2. Seems they cut it. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Or maybe they can still bring it back later, but content's way too easy for that to bring in an airstrike drone. We need something meatier. We need something more difficult. And I'm not just talking bigger numbers. I'm talking about like technically difficult to warrant that kind of power. And so far, I don't think we're gonna get there, because if I'm being perfectly honest, our T-dolls are way too strong. that is what it is at the end of the day. Our T-dolls are way too strong. We have too many options for movement and ignoring height for damage. Like with Klukai, her bike basically ignores height and damages both the ground level and anything higher. So it's kind of like, where do you increase the difficulty at this point? I feel like if you want to get to the XCOM style of gameplay, you would have to add the accuracy into the game and make accuracy a thing. That's 1. 2, make damage scale the same way for both sides. Maybe it does that already. However, because we deal so much damage in like a short amount of time, it doesn't matter. Definitely does not matter. It's not like Limbus Company, where the damage is calculated the same way on both sides. However, you have certain advantages in Limbus Company on your side to help you survive the oncoming onslaught coming from you from the enemy side. Here, we just deal so much damage so quickly that it doesn't matter how much HP the other side has. And the only way for the other side to survive is if it's a boss fight, 1, and it's like Gunsmoke because it's tailored for that. But right now, we're too strong. We're too strong. There is no reason for us to have an airstrike drone, even though they introduced it so early. Like, when are we actually going to get a challenge in this game? I don't know. I don't know. And I kind of hope we did. You can tell there was an idea they wanted to put in the game, but either decided not to or just haven't found a good way to work around. I think there was also the thing where early on in the early on when they first released the game, from what I remember hearing from everyone, was that the game was a lot harder than it is right now. At least, you know, starting out. Like, enemies would actually be difficult to deal with early on. But for some reason, they toned it down because I think CN complained it was too hard. Otherwise, can you imagine if we actually got reverse collapse levels of gameplay in Girls Frontline 2? I think it would be so much better. But no, there are too many casuals playing the game, and I say that as not really in a bad way, but it's too easy because of that baseline of ability from the players. So yeah, more maps like peak value maps, those are good challenge. Peak value, which one was peak value again? Are you talking about the endless mirror or whatever that thing was called? I kind of liked the roguelike mode. At least the roguelike mode, your character levels don't really matter. At least you can't bring over your character levels, but I think you can bring over their skill levels, like their, what do you call this? Their dupe levels. So if you have like a sufficiently duped character, you can get that unlock a lot easier. But that's really about the only advantage. Everything else is more like your usual roguelike, try to make a build kind of thing. There's never a train boss, is it? This whole Continental Railway, but there's nothing like a railway type train. Nope, this isn't Nikkei, sadly. In Nikkei, you do get a train boss. I have fought said train boss in Nikkei, in the short time I did play it. That was fun. That was actually fun. I'm not gonna lie. Nikkei, for all of its fan service and all of its questionable, at least character design that kind of clashes for me personally with the story. Story's really good from what I hear, and it probably still is. But I have to give it to Nikkei. Their boss fights are actually really, really good. They're well designed, and they actually provide a challenge, which is kind of surprising because that's not what you expect going into Nikkei. At least I don't know if that's what people expect going into Nikkei. You still kind of need a decent team to make it through. But still, yeah. Which is kind of making me think of something right now. Maybe I should try Nikkei again. Maybe I should start over again in Nikkei and try it again. Because I need that bite. I need that bite of challenge. And while I have my easy games and like difficult games, I need a little bite of challenge that the Girls Frontline 2 is just not giving me right now. I don't know. Peak Value was a challenge mode you do once every month. You just get... Oh, yeah, that was actually pretty good as a puzzle mode. But it's not necessarily like a... I don't know. I guess at the end of the day... all strategy RPGs become like sort of a puzzle mode. But also just trying to deal with things as they come. I feel like Reverse Collapse is still the best game that Mika has made, which is not a gacha game, but it's still the best strategy RPG I've ever played, and I will recommend it to anyone who hasn't tried it yet. Like, holy crap, it's actually really good in what you have to do and manage in that game. But we are not getting that here. I still feel like if we're talking gameplay difficulty, Girls Frontline 1, still better in gameplay difficulty than this, but it has its own problems. Mainly, the controls are kind of clunky, and sometimes the fights are just unfair. Like, the death stacks are just unfair sometimes. I suppose you're meant to avoid the death stacks. But what if I wanted to fight the death stacks anyway? What if I wanted to fight the death stacks and like, try to at least get rid of it? Nikkei Stories is good, but I have major issues with the current chapters. Some characters are just acting really dumb for no real reason. I see. Anyway, but yeah. I don't know. I don't remember how we got into this, but I guess we were talking about the turrets and rocket damage and stuff like that. But I don't remember if we actually saw the actual damage on the Elmo itself. But hey, if it's fixed now, great. But if it's not quite fixed yet, well, that just means the repairs are super expensive, and it is what it is. We start driving back to the Elmo after spending the night at the settlement. Basking in the sunshine, Peri looks over with her sparkling eyes.
なんだかまだ戻ってきた実感が湧きません。また消えちゃわないか心配で。
She's still having PTSD from her almost deletion.
大丈夫だ。君は一人じゃない。
はい。あの声がなければ、今頃メンタルはきっと上書きされていました。
Really fortunate. Without the voice's help, I guess we still haven't figured out who the voice was. Some people are saying it's Thompson. I feel like it's not Thompson, but who else do we have that can get into level 2 and actually talk to her directly? It has to be a doll. I still don't think it's Thompson for some reason. Almost the reason the budget's always in the red. Yep. It is. And I don't know why the commander just can't get rid of it, but maybe it's partially because it's like a Griffin memento. Maybe it's also partially there's something in here that would actually help us later. But then again, it's been a constant companion for the past 10 years, so eh.
バリアグが私をあそこに置いたのも、おそらく私を戦力にするつもりだったんだと思います。一歩違えばみんなを撃っていたかもしれないと思うと怖くて。
Okay, so she did think about shooting us when she wasn't sure that she was actually out of the simulations.
もう無茶はするなよ。スプリングフィールドのように慎重にならないと。
はい。でもあの声は結局何だったんでしょう。
わからない。でも君が上書きを免れることは彼女の目的の一つに違いない。きっと今もどこかにいる。
そうですね。よくわかりませんが、すごく強そうな人でした。私なんかまだまだです。もっともっと頑張らないと。その前に。
Peri looks out the car window. Car? We're calling the Elmo the car? Oh, no. Oh, we're from a car going to the Elmo, I see. Peri looks out the car window. The towering silhouette of the Elmo is gradually coming into view.
早く正式にエルモ号の所属になってメンタルをバックアップしないと。
Finally, a proper backup! And if she gets backed up and she gets corrupted, I guess she'll be safe in the servers for a while. The car stops and the dolls and I step out as we are greeted by those who stayed aboard the Elmo. Like a nimble rabbit, Peri swiftly hops forward. The others, somewhat moved by her, hasten their pace as well, leaving me behind. Okay, who keeps on shooting around here? Who keeps on shooting around here? Oh, never mind. I thought it was a gun. It's a party popper. A party popper suddenly bursts in the sunlight.
キャロリックちゃん、先に行くなんてずるいじゃないですか。
Hey, Coffee. It's been a while. I kind of miss you, actually.
別に約束したわけじゃないでしょ。
You too, Krolik. You too, Krolik.
荒波が魚群を引きつける。
Yep, I still don't understand a single word you're saying, but thank you, Nemesis. We're back. Nemesis also pops hers. For once, there are no arguments between the two. Are you sure about that? I guess it kind of sounds like firecrackers, but with the game having so many guns and so much shooting, I can't help but think that's like silenced for some reason. Almost simultaneously, the dolls pull on the strings of their hidden party poppers, and colorful confetti rains down from the sky.
ずいぶん盛大な出迎えだな。
外で起きたことを知ってみんな心配してたのよ。歓迎会で残ったクラッカーね。今年はずいぶんたくさん使ったわ。
それだけ仲間が増えたってことだ。
指揮官
Do you think we can handle like 400 dolls in the Elmo? Is that possible? Following Peri's exclamation, all the dolls, no matter what they have been doing, turn around and look at me.
指揮官、遅いわよ。
定められし記号が光り輝く。 なーに照れてるんですか、指揮官。ベプリー、今夜超すごいライブをやるからね。
Oh, hey, Vepley, I forgot you were here. Say hi to Sharkry, okay?
シャークリーもだよ。今夜はシャークリーのことだけ見てて。
I'm surprised they haven't fought yet. Oh, I forgot you were here. Oh, I forgot you were here. I'm a little scared, actually. I don't know why. Diane kind of scares me when she looks like this.
お姉ちゃん、声が小さいよ。ほら、私みたいにもっと大声で。指揮官。
Ouch, my ears.
ご主人様、お茶菓子をご用意いたします。
何突っ立ってんのよ、バカ。
Dork of a commander. Wow.
空気にならないで。読むのがめんどくさいから。
Please don't actually turn into a tree and just stand there. I see.
みんな待ってますよ、指揮官。あれ、ここ。ああ、指揮官。2番隊と働いてきたの？お疲れ様だね。
Alright, Mishti, thanks. Go back to sleep.
何でボケてんの？ 2番隊は別の任務から帰ってくる途中でしょ。こんなやつはほっとこ、指揮官。間違って最初にクラッカー鳴らしちゃったけど、びっくりさせなくてよかった。おかえり。ここのところ異常はなかったよ。
I forgot you were here.
皆さん喜んでいますね。寂しい時間が長いほど再会した瞬間は甘く得難いものへと変わる。そう思いませんか、指揮官。
早く入りましょう。皆さんを待たせたら悪いです。
The one female here that is not a doll. And I keep forgetting about it.
そろそろ出発の時間よ、指揮官。
Groza is standing right next to me and she reaches out. Without hesitation, I firmly clasp her hand back. The very first hand I held onto when I sunk into the swamp. Together, we wandered in the darkness for a long time. Really? In front of all the other dolls, we're hand-holding with Groza? Where is Dandegate? Good question. I haven't seen Dandegate in a while. Can't imagine doing this with every doll from Griffin. Dang. It is a lot of dolls already. I'm gonna have to count up how many I have personally, and then how many the what do you call this? The archives say we're supposed to have by now. You know, we still haven't what do you call this? The doll commune has now showed up on the Elmo. Technically speaking, Suomi has showed up before, but had to go back early on. But none of them have like taken a permanent stay in the Elmo yet. So I find that an interesting little point to note. This makes me feel like it's the end of a filler arc moment, but I have no idea what Captain China's story is about. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Because I feel like at this point, okay, yeah, the agreement, whatever the heck that thing was, has been loosened, quote unquote, to make an excuse for us to actually officially welcome the dolls back onto the Elmo. What's gonna come of it? I guess we'll find out in the next major stories. Is Captain China gonna be a filler arc? I feel like it's gonna be a filler arc. I do feel like Captain China's gonna be a filler arc, but we may as well take a look at it and see how much of a filler arc it's actually gonna be, because this is like a big arc. I think completing chapter 8, I think that's what it is. And then when we get to chapter 9, that's when things pick up again. But it's just kind of funny though. It's still kind of funny that Mika / Girls Frontline has no idea how to number their chapters, because they have one major chapter And then a bunch of small other things happen, but it's not quite a full chapter yet. And it's like imagine a what do you call this? A book. Because that's basically what this is. Let's imagine a book. Each chapter is roughly about 20 pages. And then suddenly, chapter 8 is like 200 pages long. Because why? Because why? And then you pick up in chapter 9 again. For maybe another 20 pages. Or more, depending on how they fill chapter 9 to 10 again. Anyway. Later on, we met more companions. There were more reunions, more new acquaintances, and much laughter. And new misunderstandings. I would also be paralyzed and dumbstruck when faced with overwhelming odds. But I always knew that many were willing to stand by my side. Even though we are super broke. Perhaps I have yet to find a correct and reasonable answer. But as long as hope remains, the Elmo will not stop. Let this stand as a remembrance of the time spent in exile and the journey that will follow. Hopefully, the story picks up from here. Okay. Alright, but we still have one more story chapter to go. So I guess familiar voice fills the air once again. I'm guessing this is the one who was talking to Peri. In the darkness, a conversation takes place. Oh, this was the Viagra boss. So they're gonna keep double-crossing brokers. Okay, I don't know how long that's gonna work though. Oh, this person has a boss on top of them? I guess that makes sense. The haughty voice falls silent. A pair of hands remove themselves from their ears. A pale pair of hands remove themselves from their ears. That still doesn't make sense to me.
部下にすべての活動を中止させ、待機を命じよ。
Of course. Of course. No, actually no. I don't think I would have figured out that they were connected to Paradeus, even though Paradeus has been like such a big thing for the entirety of the game so far. But I didn't think they were taking their orders directly from Paradeus in this case. But I'm still somehow not surprised. I was expecting someone else. Maybe. You know, the other party? No, wait, I guess the other party with the third gen quote-unquote dolls are also Paradeus technically, but also not really. Everything is Paradeus since it's GFL? I suppose. I feel like at least in Reverse Collapse, there's not a single mention of Paradeus, but William is there. Sorry, that's not really a spoiler, but I think you should know. There's Paradeus Mob helping Springfield in that battle stage. You know what? That's true. I didn't think about that. Did not think about that. It's just I'm so tired of these guys already. It's kind of like the Sanguis Fairy thing. They got kicked out eventually, or at least started helping us, and then got replaced with Paradeus. But I feel like that same thing's not going to happen to Paradeus, at least not anytime soon. Paradeus is just going to get replaced. If you played Reverse Collapse, you probably know what the next step up is after Paradeus, at least the Naitos anyway. But let's just say it's much worse. And I don't know if we'll get there within Gross Frontline 2. But if we get there within Gross Frontline 2, I am hoping for a gigantic difficulty spike. Because right now, the Naitos are Sanguis Fairy levels, but easier for some reason.
そなたに至っては サンクチュアリに召喚されるであろう。
We have a name.
そなたが報告していたフリーズが頻発する問題もサンクチュアリは徹底的に調査する。
Your name is Glacier. Okay. No idea who you are. We haven't even seen your face yet. Okay, well, I guess if you need a connection from Jakob to the main story, it would be Paradeus, but holy crap. That was such a long time to reveal that. On board the Elmo, Mei-Ling once again conducts a thorough neural examination of Peri, just to make sure she's mostly there.
これでよし。メンタルバックアップ完了です。ペリーさん。
Nice! Backup completed.
ありがとうございます。バックアップも取らずに今回のことが起きてどうなるかと思いましたけど、これでデータをなくしても怖くありません。
Can stop worrying about losing my neural data. Yeah, just don't do that to yourself again though. I mean, like, you know, even if you do lose your neural data, recovering your body is not gonna be easy. We're also broke.
メイリン、ペリーのメンタルに異常は？
上書きの影響か、確かに一定の損傷は認められますが、重要なデータはどれも無事なので、特に大きな問題ありません。
Overall, shouldn't be any issue because it was only a tiny portion. If the way Peri went on with how she was crying and all that during the override process, it made it seem like she lost quite a bit. But I guess it's only small, according to this. But, you know, we don't know. As long as she remembers Griffin, everyone from Griffin, and Thompson, and that she's looking for Thompson, I guess nothing else really matters as much. But she's also pretty possessive of her memories, from what I can tell. Which, you know, fair. I would be too.
だから安心してください。歓迎会の準備もできましたし。歓迎会？私のですか？
Wait, I thought we already had a welcoming party. Could be that it felt like she forgot a lot and just pressure of the situation getting to her? Could be.
もちろんです。新しくエルモ号の一員になった方の歓迎会を開くのが通例です。スオミさんの時は。
Suomi mentioned! But she's not here.
スオミさんもいるんですか？いないようですけど。
Yeah, we need to go back to the dog commune and pick them up. And also pick up someone else that was not from Griffin. 2 of them, maybe.
ちょっと訳あって今は。
カリンから面倒な依頼が来てな。プロトコルが緩くなった今、ヘレナを無事目的地まで送り届ければ、スオミの方に顔を出すこともできるはずだ。
We still haven't seen Papasha in story. I think people have mentioned that she shows up in other places, but we still haven't seen her in story. So it's like, how the heck did Papasha get into Gunsmoke? She's in Gunsmoke, but not actually here. Ulrid Lada and the new LMG girl, who used to be a mechanic. I guess technically she's still a mechanic, but she also has learned to pick up a machine gun because someone gave her a firing core for whatever reason. Papasha's with Mosin. I think last we checked, Mosin was probably with Nagant and Ksenia, if I'm not mistaken. I think I remember that from the K5 event. Okay. I don't think they mentioned Papasha though, but they did mention Nagant. Not Nagant. Mosin? Nagant. We refer to Nagant as Babushka, but we refer to Mosin as Mosin, not Nagant. Sometimes it gets confusing. But yeah, hopefully we see them again. Same city but different districts. Yeah, I think they're cops or something right now, or at least they work with law enforcement, which is kind of funny. Especially for Ksenia, because she doesn't seem like the law enforcement type. Character profiles show where everyone is assigned affiliated with. Gotcha. Papasha and Mosin's dusty memory. I still haven't gone through that. You know what I wish with a dusty memory? and the Dusty Journal stuff is that you can read them offline. Because, like, let's say I'm on a long trip and, like, on a bus trip or a plane trip, and I just want to read something, that will be when I read it. Like, I dig through the Dusty Journals, I dig through the Dusty Memories, and read them, because holy crap, there's so much text in there. You can literally spend an entire day just skimming and reading all of that. It's a lot. It's basically a book and a half. Anyway, problematic ties that Callan handed us on hand. Everyone at Elmo tied and able to help Suomi out. Now that the agreement has been relaxed, we can go find Suomi and others once we safely escort Helena to the destination. Right, I forgot about that. Helena is still being escorted to Liev. What happened to Melanie? Where did Melanie go? Where did Melanie go again? I think Melanie was... What? I think... Wasn't Melanie's with Helena's with Zakuro. Isn't Melanie supposed to be on board the Elmo right now? Yeah, she should be here. But we haven't seen her yet. So I wonder if she's like sleeping or something.
あの人形コミュニティのことは私も気になる。
Right, we have to go to. We haven't seen the doll community up close. We just have seen it through the eyes of the doll community members, who are. I hope they fix their democracy issue. Like seriously, I hope they fix their democracy issue.
本当ですか？よかった。ソミさんに会いたいですし、あそこの農業機械にも興味があるんです。
Sabrina ate bologna. Since Springfield and Wawa is back with us, that means Helena's already been delivered. Oh, okay. Wait, was it Springfield and Wawa that went with Helena to deliver? I thought someone else was with her. Actually, for some reason, I thought. What was it? What was it? I thought that Mei Ling was supposed to be with Helena, or was that different? Was that a different time? No, don't tell me, unless we're like way past it. I'm just confused right now because everything is like feels like ages ago, and it probably was. Anyway, in the ops room, several dolls are excitedly discussing the future. No one notices that the Elmo screen flickers unusually, followed by a few short lines of code flashing by on the console. Injection complete. Peri was not completely fixed. And we copied her data into the servers. And I think the overwrite data is now gonna wreak havoc in our servers. The only way we'll be safe from this is Dandelion. If we see her again. Soon. Target subject safe extraction detected. A certain voice that has waited patiently in the dark finally relaxes.
やっと終わった。あの子を助けた甲斐があった。パラデウスの目を盗んで情報を送る機会を得られたんだから。
Who are you?
あとは待つだけ。
Wait, you're not from the override program, are you? But you seem to be a separate piece of data.
もう少しだ。星の風が知らせを運ぶ。
Nebula Wind will deliver the message. Dang, they really like to leave you hanging in these last bits and trying to like figure out, oh great, what's going on anymore. Crazy theory is that Glacier is overridden Thompson, and this voice that helped Peri was a fragment that she managed to get out before getting locked down. You know what? Possible. I think the only thing that's throwing me off a little bit with that theory is that Glacier and this Thompson have different voices. Possibly because of the override, but also you would think they'd be somewhat similar. But I don't know. Dandelion, you asleep? How did you not notice something is self-installed on the Elmo? I guess if it's this thing that was Thompson, installed itself in the Elmo after being copied from Peri, it's not a bad thing. But it still makes me wonder, what the heck is it? And I guess we'll find out later. What happened to Sextants and Blue Sphere? I think Blue Sphere is a former shell themselves, right? Because it's kind of like what happened back in Girls Frontline 1. We just basically bring back empty dolls. I guess in the case of Blue Sphere, that was like self-inflicted. In the case of Sextants, that was done by Perideus. But we have them, we can't use them. They're just here to somehow help us. I don't know how they're getting along with everyone else. That is a mystery. And I don't know if we'll get that answer anytime soon. It would be hilarious though. Did we actually give Blue Sphere a new body? I thought we retrieved the old body. After that whole EMP explosion. Something happened, I forgot exactly. I just know Sextants is around. Sextants is not the same Sextants we used to know. And I don't know if we'll ever be able to actually figure out a use for it in the future. Oh, you're talking about the Blue Sphere getting a new body. Yes, that one I do remember. I do remember that. I was talking about the Blue Sphere that we have. Because there are two Blue Spheres roaming around now. The one we have and the other one that has the original backup data, I guess. Yeah. But as far as Sextants is concerned, I think it's still the original Sextants, because they did some weird doll and Boojum fusion with Sextants where she can't actually be destroyed. So kind of curious how that's gonna work out in the future. But also, she seems like a shell of her former self. And I don't know if we're ever gonna get a personality back in there that actually makes sense. Upload Koshmar into Blue Ball's body and let them fight. I think they deleted Koshmar, right? I'm pretty sure they deleted Koshmar after the whole trying to take over, trying to do a Log Horizon kind of memory stealing from everyone. But no, if we had a copy of Koshmar, I guess we could have given them a body, but nah, probably not. I feel like Koshmar is a little bit too dangerous to be let loose unless they were like given some sort of limitations. But it would be funny if they bring Koshmar back in the future for whatever reason. Sextant's ability kind of makes it hard for dolls to fight in the future. Yeah. Story-wise, yeah. Because you can't really kill Sextants unless probably you burn them to bits. Well, burn them to dust. And then maybe at that point you can actually kill her. TMP could never, unless TMP decided not to delete her. I thought they actually did though. If I can't even check it because I don't think that story has been archived. Let me double check. What did they put here? Past events are not here, but we got Sojourner Part 1, Part 2, and Chapter 8, but not the rest of not everything that's happened since Chapter 8. This is the Mika special. The Mika special of putting chapters much later. Did you die? Sextants, yes, but I lived. Koshmar would be traumatized by the outside world and would become a need. You know, I can see her do that. Chapter 9 when, Mika? I don't know. I mean, we still have to get through Captain China first, and I feel like after Captain China, we'll probably get Chapter 9? Captain China, yeah. Or we somehow swerve again and maybe get Nikita, maybe get Andoris, maybe get Belka. but Aphelion was supposed to be chapter 9 and 10? Okay, but where is it here? Where is it here? Why is it not added? Because Mika. Because Mika. I don't know. The chapter order is weird, and the way they introduce things makes you like, what the heck is going on? So it's a little confusing from that respect. It doesn't help that their release order is kind of screwed up right now because of rewrites and whatnot. But hopefully they get the rewrite situation under control. Haven't visited Surgeoner event. Does it have rewards? I'm assuming it does not, other than the regular cube rewards. You're probably not gonna get the rewards from before, especially not Lotta anyway. When we get the next story chapter, it'll be 1.8.1, 8.2647. Yeah, if you completed, no rewards. Yeah. Anyway, Doritos is coming up. Does Doritos come with the ticket shop also getting upgraded? Because if it does, then for anyone still missing Lotta fragments, you should be able to get Lotta fragments from the ticket shop. It does. Okay. Great for the Lotta havers. If you don't have Lotta, grab her. She was pretty good until she got replaced, but she carried me for the longest time at least. She doesn't carry me anymore, sad. But I still remember using her so much, and she helped me push through content early on. 300 or 600 Doritos for one copy. I mean, it's still better. What do I how many Doritos do I have now that I think about it? How many Doritos do I have? I have 5,442 Doritos. I think that's gonna give me 90 tickets, if I'm not mistaken. There should be around 90 tickets. Or 9. Maybe 9? It's not a lot. Now, as far as blue tickets go, I'm not sure what would be even worth to get in when that gets updated. Lotta was my MVP AoE story clearer, who then lost to Klukai, who then lost to Vector. Yeah, that's kind of how it worked. But I guess for new players, if they don't have access to Klukai or Vector, Lotta will still be pretty good for them starting out. But if you already have Klukai or Vector, not as useful. But if you need multiple teams, I suppose she still has a use for that numbered team if you have to use it for whatever reason. Stupid and spent Doritos on V6 and QJ's gun. You know what? At least the gun is a guarantee. The gun is a guarantee when you exchange Doritos for it, so it's not the worst investment. At least I don't think so. Because once you exchange it for a ticket, then that ticket becomes a random investment for something else. You could get basically nothing for it. But if you need to like get more access, if you need to get more targeted tickets, then sure, why not? Why not? But if you're just here for a weapon, I don't see why you shouldn't exchange it for the weapon that you want. Maybe eventually we'll be able to also like get some weapon uncaps for like premium weapons, but I don't think they'll do that because they're following too close to Hoyo to do that. Chorus and Dorito shop? Oh, that would actually be nice. That would be nice. I kind of have thought about refreshing my battle pass to get more cores, but I kind of decided against it. I'm deciding against it. So, we'll see. Only 3 per month? Well, to be fair, you probably shouldn't have that many dolls to begin with. I don't know. If you have a lot of dolls and you're trying to upgrade all of them, it does get it does make the cores scarce. But if you only use them for the ones that you're actually going to use, then it might not be as bad. But once everyone gets their extra key, I think the cores are also gonna drop quite a bit. I don't know. I didn't realize those use cores. Whoops. Let's see. What was I gonna check on? I was gonna check on how many dolls we're supposed to have total already. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 7, 28 minus 1 because mailing is there. Mailing, so 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Supposedly we're supposed to have 31 dolls right now. And this number is just gonna keep growing. Remember the amount of dolls right now when we get to 100. Because it's gonna look entirely ridiculous when that happens. I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 dolls I'm missing out of the 31. Mailing's not a doll. I counted her out of that. Don't worry, I counted her out of that. That's why it's an odd number instead of even. But yeah. So I guess without the not counting the ones I don't have, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 31 minus 6. I have 25 dolls. Guys, we need dorms enough for 25 dolls right now. At least I do. Where are we gonna put them? I know the Elmo is big, but how big are these rooms? Where are the rooms gonna be? I guess we'll find out once we get the explorable Elmo. And once you see the explorable Elmo, it's like, wait, how did we fit all these dolls in here? Are they just gonna be sleeping in the living room and in the kitchen and in the hangar? I want to see the hangar. Probably won't see the hangar, but I want to see the hangar. Or they can just be around somewhere. Who knows? Elmo equals the Limbus bus. The thing about the Limbus bus, though, is that any space issues on the Limbus is explained by having literally a separate dimension where the rooms exist. So space is not an issue there. We have a physical space here on the Elmo. There is no extra dimensions. It is a giant piece of hunking metal that can somehow go really, really fast. And I don't think we've actually gotten a what do you call this? Dimensions for the Elmo. Maybe they're keeping it ambiguous to stop us from asking, how much can we fit in here? You can fit this much, but how big is the Elmo? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Maybe they're keeping it ambiguous because of that. But also, we can only have so many rooms. Mailing will just build another layer floor in the Elmo. Clearly they'll need roommates eventually. Maybe eventually. But for now, every doll gets one room for themselves. Because, do you see how much space there is in here? Sorry, Groza, hold this up, sorry. Do you see how much space there is here? Technically speaking, there's actually a decent amount of space for one person, or one doll in this case. Technically speaking, you could fit 2 dolls to one bed. But would any of them want to sleep next to each other except for UMP9 and UMP45? Probably not. Probably not. And plus they also get a couch in their room. Holy crap, look at this. It's basically a studio apartment without the shower. And they even get a sunroof? What the heck? No. All rooms cannot have a sunroof because there's got to be some people on the lower floors. There has got to be some people on the lower floors. Not everyone is gonna get the sunroof. Couch is a viable bed, true, but how many dolls would actually fight for the couch? You tell me. They have a couch, they have a coffee maker, they have a gigantic monitor, though it's only one monitor. They need a dual monitor, maybe even a triple monitor. But they only have one monitor for their computer work area, for whatever work they might do. They do have a separate laptop for some reason. Meshti raised her hand for the couch. No. Meshti would want the bed. I feel like Meshti wants the bed. Strongest gets the bed. I do feel like Meshti would take the bed though. But yeah, let me see. I want to change rooms here. No, dolls here. Vepli, Groza, several people waiting for their rings. None of you are getting rings. I'm sorry. That's not happening today. She'll probably settle for anything at some point. I think she likes her beanbag more. She bought a beanbag, you know. So she would definitely go for that if it's more comfortable than the bed. Everyone can have a sunroof if you try hard. You can have an artificial sunroof if you really, really want. But look at this. This looks like it's natural light. You see that? That is natural sky and sunlight coming through here. I thought this was the yellow zone. Why is it so blue? Wait, hold up. I don't think the clouds are moving. This could be a fake ceiling window. Isn't it supposed to be green? You're right. This could be a fake ceiling window. Sunroof. I mean, technically speaking, when you saw the pool, they did have like a fake view of the sky and beach and all of that. Totally necessary for the pool. Also totally necessary to have a pool. So, you know what? But wait. This window, okay, this window has to be real though. This window has to be real. Then again, we can't really see anything out of it. Well, we can see the sand. We can see the sand. So this is real. This is assumingly real, but the JPEG clouds are not moving, so hard to tell. Yeah. Anyway. Doritos. Next week, probably not getting the, what do you call this? The Elmo anytime soon, but hopefully before the end of the year. Let's hope for it. In the meantime, thanks everyone for dropping by and hanging out. Hope you guys enjoy the stream. I will be back tomorrow for Limbus Company, for anyone who wants to drop in on that. I'm gonna try to get the dual streaming to Twitch working, just as an experiment. We'll see if that actually works. Anyone who's on YouTube, you can stick to YouTube. Please stick to YouTube. I'm just doing the Twitch thing just to see if anyone from Twitch drops by. Out of curiosity, my own curiosity. But if you're on YouTube, stick to YouTube. It'll be easier for me to keep track of you guys. Fun now to speedrun Girls Frontline 2 account before it expires. Yeah, the event expires in, I think, 4 days. I know the date on the event itself is a little misleading, but yeah, in the next 4 days it's gonna end. So get it done if you haven't gotten it done. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your day, and bye-bye.